Mustangs have a big following. I just counted. There's 13 people in this one. These are really. I don't think you want to show the business side.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cayley Field for tonight's football contest featuring the Mustangs of West Perry against our own Blue Devils of Greencastle-Antrim. The Mustangs out of the Mid-Penn Capital Division come into tonight's game after a hard-fought loss last week at the hands of East Pennsboro, while the Blue Devils defeated Littlestown by the score of 51-13. West Perry, with their deceiving 0-2 record, are a very tough team and has shown the ability to move the football with the likes of playmakers Hunter Wilson and Cameron May.
All right.
While the Blue Devils have been spreading the offense around, gaining 600 total yards against Littlestown last week. Another beautiful Friday night awaits us as we gear up for week number 3 of this young football season. Tonight's game is sponsored by Hagerstown Honda. At Hagerstown Honda, you can score the deal of the year with their 0% touchdown deal on all 2015 Civics at Accord.
Water for you.
Thank you, sir.
Poor young lady gave me $13 back. I said, listen,
He's not real bright up there.
I said, I realize we could probably get away with this, but it's not my
So,
money,
as
so
we
I want to.
continue with our pregame festivities leading up to
Come
kickoff,
on, there
we
you
invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy one of our state's greatest natural resources, Pennsylvania High School football.
Feel good about the camera?
Well, you don't know yet, right? Let me turn this on.
I think I turned it on.
Let's see. Yeah, it's on.
It says it's streaming across the top, but I'm not getting anything on the phone.
Really?
Would you get something on your phone?
I did last time. That's how I checked to make sure.
But I mean, we're not on the air.
Yeah, but he is. He could be. He's got it all
Could be
set
just
up.
in video. Yeah, it should be just in video because you guys used to have the video one.
Yeah.
Well,
Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to stop by the Keystone Ford quarterback tent located just inside the main gate. There you can stock up on the latest 2015
Here we go. Let's see
Blue
what
Devil football merchandise. Everything
the
from
one you were
t-shirts,
concerned about?
sweatshirts, hats, programs, and much, much
This is
more
the one you were
awaits
concerned about?
you at the quarterback club tent. Special thanks to Keystone Ford for
Yeah,
their
but it
donation
should
of the
connect with the
quarterback
cameras,
club tent.
pictures up there.
And as always, thank you for supporting Blue Devil football.
Okay, what am I doing?
Also at the quarterback club tent, stop by and pick up your brochure and information about the first annual quarterback club scholarship 4-person scramble golf outing. You can sign up now. The outing is going to be held on October 10th at the Rocky Spring Golf Course. Pick up a registration form at the quarterback club tent.
All right, I tell you what. We're on.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, just inside the main gate, the Blue Devil field hockey team is selling special commemorative Blue Devil Halo headbands. For the low price of $12, you too can support the Blue Devil field hockey team.
All right, we should be ready to go then, right?
Keith, good?
Inside the main gate, right next to Rita's. Thank you.
This is a production of MidPennBroadcasting.com, where over 70 local sporting events a year stream live to your PC, laptop, phone, and tablet.
This is Greencastle-Antrim Blue Devils football on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Greencastle-Antrim Athletic Complex in Cayley Field on the campus of Greencastle-Antrim School District for tonight's high school football matchup between the visiting Mustangs of West Perry and the Greencastle-Antrim Blue Devils. Tonight's game is brought to you by F&M Trust. Pay less rate and get more great this fall with a special offer on a home equity line of credit. Learn more at fnmtrustonline.com. An equal housing lender. Antrim Insurance, your local area insurance agent. Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency serving the tri-state area for 35 years. Waste management, environmentally friendly technologies, and advanced innovations. Lectron Comfort Solutions, serving all of Franklin County with professional service and installation. And Klein's Tours, New York City, Atlantic City, and more. Visit kleinstours.net for a complete tour schedule. I'm Greg Hoover, once again along with my good friend Rick Lewis, right here on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com. Our pregame show brought to you by Antrim Insurance, your local area insurance agent, serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding areas. Antrim Insurance, 169 South Antrim Greencastle, and 1685 East Main Street in Waynesboro. Well, Rick, the Blue Devils have the opportunity to be at home for the second straight week, and again have a non-conference encounter this time with an 0-2 Mustangs. It appeared so easy last week, so are the Blue Devils that good, or really is their opponents aren't that good? That's the question.
Well, it is a question, and you know, at the end of the day, you can only play who's in front of you. And Greencastle's 2-0. As you said, West Perry comes in 0-2. They had a tough defeat at East Pennsboro, who traditionally is a pretty solid team. Greencastle is kind of working their way through the mid-pen. They played Chambersburg, who's in the Commonwealth. They're now going in, you know, they did the YAIA, so they're making their rounds. I guess what we're going to find out is, I think more of test, we're going to score points. I think what I'm interested in the test is against a better offensive team, how our defense holds up, Greg.
Well, that's a great question, because so far in the Chambersburg game was a 32-29 victory. The Blue Devils with obviously 32 points. Last week, 51-13. So they've scored 83 points, averaging 41.5 through the first games, 2 games there. So you're right. The offense can score points. Can the defensive hold it? This team, unfortunately, from West Perry hasn't scored a lot of points, 14 in the 2 ball games, and they just had a little rough time putting the ball in the end zone.
Well, you look at Greencastle statistics, 50 first downs in their first 2 games is just staggering. Spencer Myers is completing 64% of his passes, and Greencastle's throwing the ball. Their run-pass balance is a lot more than in previous years. We do have 3 rushers for Greencastle who are already over 100 yards, with Demetrius Burton leading the way with nearly 300. So I think the key for West Perry is, can they keep this game competitive? They really rely on Hunter Wilson. He racked up 136 yards on 20 carries last week against East Pennsboro. Can they control the clock? Can they keep Greencastle's offense off the field and get some momentum? And, you know, once you get in the second half in a competitive game, who knows what can happen?
That's true. You know, we talked about the outstanding statistics the Blue Devils had last week. Matter of fact, they almost had 2 runners over 100 yards, as James Hine was very close. And, of course, as you mentioned, Demetrius Burton going over the 100 mark. He's had a great 2 ball games. But I tell you what, when we come back, we're going to talk about a game that offense the Greencastle has been playing looks like nothing compared to what we're going to talk about. And we will do so after this short break right here on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Had an auto accident? It's common to wonder how things could have turned out differently if only. No regrets. If only you had Erie Insurance. With Erie, instead of regrets, you can focus on putting your mishap behind you. With an Erie Rate Lock auto policy, your rate won't take a hit, no matter what. It stays put until you change a car, driver, or address. People who treat you fairly, legendary service, great rates. That's what it means to have seriously good insurance for your auto, home, or business. Erie Insurance. See for yourself why Erie received the J.D. Power Award for highest in customer satisfaction with the auto insurance purchase experience, 3 years in a row.
Your Erie agent in Greencastle and Waynesboro is Antrim Insurance Agency. Get a quote at AntrimInspa.com.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Limited to 3 years in Virginia. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. For J.D. Power award information, go to jdpower.com.
Erie Insurance.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. With the home equity line of credit from F&M Trust, you can pay less rate and add more great to your life. Get extra funds to pay off high-interest bills, tackle home remodeling projects, or make other big purchases. Apply today and you'll rake in even more savings with F&M Trust's special introductory rate. For details, connect with any local branch or visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency, has been serving the tri-state area for 35 years. We specialize in screen printing and embroidered clothing. Del Martin Incorporated supplies a full range of brand name uniforms for athletic, work, and medical applications, and a full line of advertising essentials. We have an in-house artist ready to put your ideas to work for you. T-shirts for schools, clubs, churches, and events. Del Martin Incorporated, 21 Sarah Susan Lane, Greencastle. Phone 717-597-5751 or online at delprint.com.
There's nothing like being at the game. The excitement, the fun, the food, and all the waste. Whether it's popcorn boxes, hot dog wrappers, or this soda cup. Big games generate tons of waste. That's why Waste Management is helping stadiums and businesses reduce waste altogether through recycling and organic composting. To learn more, talk to your local Waste Management representative or visit thinkgreen.com.
Live and local. This is MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Welcome back to Blue Devils in West Perry in week number 3 of this very young football season. Rick, did you see the results of that DuBois-Meadville game last week? The final being 107-90.
I did see that, and as you mentioned earlier, I'm a basketball coach, and I've been very few basketball games over the last 20 years that approach that score. Unbelievable, and I know you have some statistics on it, and they're mind-boggling, and like we talked about very briefly, usually you see those, somebody got beat 90-20 or something like this. It looked like they needed all 107 of those points.
Yeah, just to pull the game out. You know, that's amazing. We are excited that the Blue Devils have generated so far this year in total offense 993 yards. 993 yards. That's pretty doggone good, really, when you think about it. And we should be happy about that. But the team rushing yards for Meadville, the winner, they have 1,004 yards in that ball game. That eclipsed the previous national mark of 893 yards by Centerville, Texas. Total offensive yards for DuBois, that was 904 in one ball game. It's amazing. Passing yards for DuBois quarterback Matt Miller, he established a national record, 787 yards passing in just one game. Rushing yards for Brown, he fell 32 short shy of setting a national single game record. 500, Pennsylvania's old record for most rushing yards in a single game, set by Eastern York's Alex Cooley in 2012. So he rushed for 222 more yards than the record. Receiving yards by DuBois Jr. Colin Reed, 350 feet. 355. Reed turned the sum on 9 receptions. That sets a new state record. 68 total points scored by Brown, chipped in 10 touchdowns and 4 two-point conversion runs, and that totals a District 10 single record. And 24.1 average yards per carry for Brown, who carried 30 times. And 10, the number of touchdown passes by Miller, good for second all-time in the nation. Miller's 7 touchdown passes in the first half ranks 4th in the country. DuBois, I love this statistic. DuBois is 1-1, and they're averaging 65.5 points a game. They've lost one game, and they're averaging 65.5 points a game.
Those are just unbelievable, almost Madden football. Sega, my son plays, almost those kind of numbers there.
It is incredible, and you know, it's one of those things where you really like to sit and watch the game because I don't know. I mean, I don't know much more about it, but what was it in the fourth quarter? Was it, like 80-80 or something like that? And coming down, it'll be interesting to follow those two teams as they go through the season to see if they can keep producing those numbers. listen, we'd be happy for a 400-yard, 500-yard total night out of the Blue Devils tonight.
Yep. Really, at the end of the day, no matter what your yards, you just need to score one more point than your opponent. As you said, Greencastle's. It's hard to believe. You mentioned it earlier, Greg. This is the third game of the season already. It's you only play 10 regular season games, so this puts you at 30% through the season. It's unbelievable. But what a great atmosphere again. It's the cheer. I love this stuff. That the junior cheerleaders are here. That's a neat night. The band's out here. It's another beautiful evening. A little on the hot side, which could play to Greencastle's advantage, as West Perry during their warm-ups looked like they maybe had half the kids out that Greencastle has.
Well, they don't have a large roster. They're a young roster. They'll start a quarterback who's a junior. You talked about Hunter Wilson. He is a senior, one of the lone seniors on this team. But, they have struggled in their first two games. They lost to Big Spring 21-7, and East Pennsboro 44-7. It's a good barometer for the Blue Devils because they play both teams. One coming up next week in the lights of Big Spring. So that becomes the first league game next week. Is this that trap game that we so often talk about? Like, okay, it's West Perry. We should be able to beat them. We're worried about Big Spring more than anything else.
Well, if I'm coaching Ennis, I don't think it's real hard to get these guys' attention. Last, we talked about 29 or 30 seniors, something unbelievable. And, most of the guys who were big contributors are back. This group in the last couple of years have not tasted the playoffs. So there should be absolutely no complacency. Every game's important for standings and power points. And so there should be no trap games on our schedule at all this year. I don't think we've kind of gotten to that point to do that. A couple of years ago, maybe. But right now, we're kind of going back up the ladder. So they need to be focused on their task at hand. The one thing that concerns me is the penalties, which we'll talk about when we come back.
We will. We'll ask you for your 3 keys to a Blue Devil victory. We'll do that right after these messages from the F&M Trust Sports Network on midpennbroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Had an auto accident? It's common to wonder how things could have turned out differently, if only. No regrets. If only you had Erie Insurance. With Erie, instead of regrets, you can focus on putting your mishap behind you. With an Erie Rate Lock auto policy, your rate won't take a hit, no matter what. It stays put until you change a car, driver, or address. People who treat you fairly, legendary service, great rates. That's what it means to have seriously good insurance for your auto, home, or business. Erie Insurance. See for yourself why Erie received the J.D. Power Award for highest in customer satisfaction with the auto insurance purchase experience 3 years in a row.
Your Erie agent in Greencastle and Waynesboro is Antrim Insurance Agency. Get a quote at AntrimInspa.com.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Limited to 3 years in Virginia. Other conditions and limitations at ErieInsurance.com. For J.D. Power Award information, go to JDPower.com.
Erie Insurance.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. Use home equity funds for big purchases or to pay off high-interest bills. Apply today and rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory offer. Visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Have heating or air conditioning needs? Look no further than Lecron's Comfort Solutions. We service all brands: heat pumps, humidifiers, system replacements, gas, oil, electric heat, and ductless systems. Lecron's Comfort Solutions is your authorized terrain dealer. Call Corey at 717-597-3768 for a free estimate. We are licensed and insured. Lecron's Comfort Solutions. Local company, local name. Serving Greencastle and all of Franklin County with professional service and installation.
This is Greencastle-Antrim Blue Devils football on midpennbroadcasting.com.
Welcome back to Kelly Field. Beautiful night for football under the lights here. Friday night football, Greencastle and West Perry. And last week I had to laugh, and I didn't get a chance. I saw Spencer Myers during the week and forgot to say something to him. But he hit that big blue sign out there that says protect We will protect this house. And he sort of stumbled with it, which scared me a little bit because if you're getting tackled by the sign, it's not the best thing, but it is a strong sign. So we'll take a look to make sure that everyone gets out safely on this one. Again, as we mentioned, Rick, it's a beautiful night for football. It's going to cool off as the sun goes down. We certainly hope so. A little humid, maybe not quite as bad as it has been the last couple of weeks, but we're ready for football here tonight. Now, the big question is, the Blue Devils have to come out and play, but if there's three things you think, what do you think are the three keys to the Blue Devils' victory tonight?
I think number one, what's most important is 24 penalties in the first two games, Greg. And we talked about the Chambersburg game. It almost came back to bite us. Littlestown, I think it was just superior talent made up for it. And we had some stretches where we played clean football, but then we had some other stretches where we got a little sloppy. We also had 6 fumbles so far in 2 games. We recovered 3, but that's still a lot of times putting the ball. So you're averaging 12 penalties and 3 fumbles a game. We got to make sure we clean that up. And last, I think anytime you're the favorite, and I'm a big believer in this in all sports, we got to keep their running back under control. What you don't want to have happen is, Wilson to go off, get a couple first downs, get his juices flowing, and then all of a sudden West Perry takes their cue off of them. We want, and we said in the very beginning, I'm very interested to see how our defense comes up. So to me, that's a threes. Keep Wilson under control, keep the ball off the ground, and not shoot ourselves in the foot with mistakes. Because one thing we do know, we're going to score points.
We are going to score points. It's a very interesting thing because how do you practice not making penalties? You can talk about it, preach about it, but how do you practice that?
They always talk about don't coach to the negative. When you're in a huddle in basketball, you don't want to say, if we miss this shot. You got to somehow coach to the positive. So you want to make players aware, but you don't want to make them so aware that they're maybe holding the ball differently or squeezing it or, things like that. So it's very difficult. I think it's more just a matter of concentration. We have a lot of returning players and them just playing free and loose and doing what they can do.
Yeah, certainly the offsides penalties or the motion penalties. I know they were working on snap counts and just doing what they could with snap counts. You could do it to a certain point, but then after a while, there's not much more you can do about it. So we'll see how that plays out today. No one wants to throw an interception. No one wants to throw or fumble the ball and lose the ball. So it is. I think you just go out and play the game here tonight and see what happens. So your 3 keys will be I guess, will be the keys for I'm sure Chuck Taninis said the same thing to his ball club here. Let's hold on to this football. Let's not do the penalties, and we will win the ball game because we are a pretty decent ball club. Captain's meeting out at the center of the field here for the pregame toss. And the Mustangs are coached by Robert Bowden. Al Ream coached there for 15 years, had a successful team up at West Perry, and then he retired. And Robert Bowden trying to get things on track. 0-10 last year, not what they certainly wanted, but not unexpected after a coaching change. Those things do occur.
They do, and like we talked about, you take for granted how hard it is to win and keep winning. And West Perry's going through a little bit of a down cycle. They're changing coaches. And I think, in my opinion, football is the hardest thing to go through a coaching change. Basketball and baseball, while there is an adjustment, football is a whole terminology, a whole philosophy. You can have a major difference when you change coaches. And so, we'll see how it goes. And on the Greencastle sideline for 28 years, Coach Taninis has done it, and he's done it well.
Well, he has, and he hasn't changed much of that philosophy nor his language as we do that. Please join the people here as we join them in the playing of our national anthem. That's the Greencastle-Antrim High School Blue Devil Marching Band, the playing of our national anthem here. And this one is moments away from kickoff here at Cayley Field. And our pregame show has been brought to you by Antrim Insurance, your local Erie insurance agent, serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding areas. Antrim Insurance, 169 South Antrim Way, Greencastle, and 1685 East Main Street in Waynesboro. Well, Rick, you can tell that the team is 0-2 and also, unfortunately, 0-10 last year as you look on the opposite side and see that not many fans have made the trip down here from West Perry. I forget what's the name of the town they call that?
Elliotsburg.
Elliotsburg, yes. It's not one you travel through much
No, it's not.
unless you're going to West Perry. I think it's it. So,
they kind of remind me of Greencastle, Greg, in as far as they're kind of the farthest region for the Mid-Penn. So, they have to do quite a few road trips.
Well, they do, and they were in our division. We still, and nevertheless, we still are playing them, and it really is. It's a beautiful drive, particularly if you get it at this time of the year. It's a beautiful drive. Greencastle will kick off. They will defend the west goal, which is the one back to the high school, kicking off to West Perry. West Perry will take the ball, move right to left on your computer screen there. Backs are against the primary building or the east side of the stadium. It is Austin Smith to do the kickoff chores for the Blue Devils. Always squibs kick, and he does, and there is a penalty already.
Well, Greg, we just
my goodness.
We talked about playing a clean game in the penalties, and we start with an offsides on the kickoff.
Wow. That'll mark you back 5 yards and make the kickoff back to the 35-yard line. That's interesting. Certainly you don't want to see right off the bat, but what we did see right off the bat. Deep back for the ball club from Elliotsburg is Cameron May. He's wearing number 15. He is their number one receiver, 8 catches for 105 yards. And also we'll see Zach Rudy back there, that is Hunter Wilson. Wilson's to the near side of the field. He's 13 for 75 in carries, has 2 catches for 56 yards. He's a 5'11", 180-pound senior. We'll try this all again. Squib kick coming a little farther this time, and it will be taken by Wilson at the 19-yard line. He's at the 30, moving to the right side, goes around the corner, has a little running room, breaks one tackle down the sideline, and finally out of bounds before Austin Smith would have had to tackle him. And a nice run back for Wilson, which is one of the reasons Coach Tennis never likes those deep backs to get the football.
Yep, and everyone has their different philosophies on that. But Hunter Wilson's kind of their do everything on offense. If you read their statistics, they don't throw the ball particularly well. Looks like he stepped out actually at the 44, Greg. So that's going to help Greencastle a little bit. But we talked about it in the very beginning. Hunter Wilson it has the capabilities of putting up a big game, and Greencastle doesn't want him to get started.
Single back set, trips to the left side, working from the right hash mark, moving right to left. That looked like an offside to me. Toss back goes to Wilson. Wilson comes up here about 3 yards on the play, head to the 46, 7-yard line on the carry.
Tyler Graham makes the tackle.
Tyler Graham won the tackle.
We have Jeremy Anderson, Bray Peck, and Tyler Graham have done a nice job as Greencastle, we've talked about, is going to a new 3-4 alignment. And those three, Jeremy Anderson really is kind of a nose guard who's waited his turn and really had a good start, really anchoring the middle.
They'll send a slot to the right side, wide out to the right in a tight formation. Now they'll bring Wilson back and put him at the as the eye back in this one. He's jumping again. There, this time the official saw it.
Yeah, I think you were right. I think they moved a little early on the first one, that left side of the line.
It's the left guard that jumped, and they're going to move him back 5 yards. And again, he was off that quick the last time. So now they've equaled out in penalties, and that might be the first time in these first 3 weeks that we've equaled out in penalties.
Greg, I just looked out, and the little cheerleaders are everywhere.
Everywhere. They are everywhere.
Our word last week was plethora, and there are a plethora of cheerleaders right now.
Plethora of cheerleaders. Now this time they send the wideouts wide to the end, to the sidelines, both of them. I formation in the backfield, and that's the call to the running back. Wilson has a lot of room to the right side, still running. It is it's going to be Chrisman, who is the strong safety back there, the deep back. And he knocks him down at, they're going to say it's going to be spotted at the 28-yard line. Wow.
He's a nice-looking runner. He's got a good explosion. He's a nice-sized kid. He's 5'11", 180, which is great, high school size. And there's no question who's getting the ball, so Greencastle's got to really zero in on number 24.
May comes out to the far side along with Jake Quaker. And they're going to give it right back to Wilson. Wilson around that right side. They see something over there they like, and they get another first down on the play.
He's doing a nice job, but you're right. That offensive line is doing a really nice job. No one's touching him until he's 4 yards. He's at linebacker level. So another first down, and we were concerned about him and how our defense would respond. And so far, West Perry's coming out a lot better than an 0-2 team.
You're right about that. A team that's only scored 14 points. I formation again. Wilson, the up back in the alignment as they work from the right hash mark. Quarterback to the fullback right up the middle, and he gets a couple yards on the play to the 11-yard line. That's John Sear, who has run 7 times for 27 yards. Nate Cilantro is the quarterback. He's 5'8", 165-pound senior. He has thrown 30 times this season thus far. 1 touchdown, 1 INT, 15 completions. As they'll send the 2 receivers out here again to the left side and work out of that I formation in a 2nd and 6 situation. Snap, and Wilson hit right away and brought down right away. And getting up first off of that line is Tyler Jeffries, who makes the stop.
And Tyler Jeffries has really had a good start to the season. Nice tackle there. He's come up big on some offensive plays at the split end position, and he's played a very good linebacker for us. Another senior who's waited his turn and now is capitalizing on his opportunity.
Well, it is 4 downs territory here for sure as they enter the red zone. They'll work out of that I again. This time they'll split those wideouts to both sides of the field. They'll bring in motion May from the near side. Toss back goes to Wilson. Wilson needs to turn the corner. He's met there and stopped and brought down by Derek Measle at about the 6 or 7 yard line. Going to be close to that first down.
Interesting decision now for West Perry. They're definitely in field goal range. They're about 2 yards short of a first down.
They're going for it.
Yeah, I guess they got nothing to lose. They're saying, let's go, trying to get a mentality together.
Scott Messner's their kicker, 3 for 3 in extra points, which baffles me a little bit as I got that statistics from the website when they've only scored 2 touchdowns. I don't know how you do that.
I think West Perry's, they're going to take a timeout here. They're going to think about this because when you're playing for upsets, points are very, very important.
Well, it is right off the bat, so they'll stop the clock 8:42 into the first quarter. It is 0-0. They're knocking on the door. We're going to stay right here, Rick, and remind you that this broadcast brought to you by F&M Trust. Pay less rate and get more great this fall with a special offer on a home equity line of credit. Learn more at fnmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender. They're mentioning the cheerleaders. You know what I like now? I like the fact that the Greencastle Midget Association has gone to the blue and gold of Greencastle.
Yep, when our kids went through, they were the Eagles and the Falcons. And a late friend of ours, Chuck Atherton, rest in peace, was a big proponent of doing that to really just feed into the whole that we're all one school and one community, and it is neat. It's really neat to see.
That it is. Well, here he is. Big 4th down already in the ball game, and one wouldn't think that in the first quarter at 8:42, but here they go. Twins to the far side, and they'll work out of that I formation, have yet to throw in the football, waiting for the snap for Cilantro. They give it to the fullback straight up the middle. They're going to, well, we'll have to wait and see.
They're going to have to measure.
They're going to have to measure that thing.
Yep, first down.
Yep.
And now I'll tell you, that's a heck of a play call because I was just getting ready to say, who do you think's going to get the ball, Greg? And they fooled me. They gave it to the up back instead of Wilson, and he got the 2 yards necessary.
Yeah, Sear is the fullback, and he gets the first down. Once again, they'll send Quaker and May out to the far side as they've been using them as decoys, and they do it once again. Wilson hit right away, brought down, first stop in there by Sean Walk on the defense.
That's a real nice play by Sean Walk. He usually doesn't play defense, but he's in there right now, beat his blocker and made the nice play.
You had to look the number up because this is at least the first time we've called his name on defense for the Blue Devils. So a little loss on the play, really, as they're starting now from the 6 or maybe no gain on it in a 2nd down situation facing them.
Actually, it's interesting. Both Bray Peck and Tyler Graham is out there, but we also have Seth Martin, number 53, in on defense as well.
Lone setback and play action, looking to pass. Almost brought down, but no, pass is thrown in the end zone, broken up. And that's going to be broken up.
Liam Ogle
Yep.
showed that great speed we've been talking about, a track star at Greencastle. He was open. It was a good pass, and Liam Ogle comes out of nowhere and knocks that ball down. Unfortunately, Bailey Parker put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, but couldn't quite get him.
He was in there and read that well. Third down situation now. Once again, this is their second third down. They were able to capitalize on their first one and convert for the Mustangs.
And the Mustangs are doing what we talked about, Greg. They're keeping Greencastle's offense off the field. This has been a 5-minute drive, and it's got to give them some confidence.
Straight out of the eye. On the veer, they get to the Wilson. No one there. Wilson in for the touchdown. And 6 points on the board for the Mustangs.
And there, I think you saw Ogle, who just made a great play. His lack of football experience cost him there. Took a tough angle coming in, and Wilson was able to cut it inside. Very impressive drive by the Mustangs.
Sure was. Wilson with the 6-yard run, and they will bring on Scott Messner for the extra point attempt.
His 4th and 3 tries.
Yeah. Snap is down, kick is up, line drive. No, goes
to the left.
To the left, wide left, but the Blue Devils have or trail this one for the very first time in this season. They trail 6-0. 7:24 up on the board. We'll be back on the F&M Trust Sports Network on midpenbroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. With the home equity line of credit from F&M Trust, you can pay less rate and add more great to your life. Get extra funds to pay off high-interest bills, tackle home remodeling projects, or make other big purchases. Apply today and you'll rake in even more savings with F&M Trust's special introductory rate. For details, connect with any local branch or visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Chalk Talk. We talk high school football every Thursday night at 7:30 on midpenbroadcasting.com.
56-yard, 10-play drive from the Mustangs. Took them 4 minutes and 36 seconds. The extra point goes wide to the left, and they lead this one 6-0. Blue Devils will get their first opportunity to touch the football offensively as the kickoff is approaching. Messner will kick from the right hash mark at the 40-yard line. Great drive for West Perry, and if you're the Blue Devils, you got to be thinking, what's going on here?
That's not how the script was supposed to go tonight. Penn Live, I believe, had the Greencastle by 25 points. But back to what we said in the beginning, that's why you play, and you play who's in front of you. Greencastle's got to get focused, and they need to answer that.
Messner's kick straight up in the air, going to go to the left side. That is Zimmerman, takes it at the 2-yard line. Here he comes out, straight up the middle, breaks to the outside, has a little running room, jukes one, jukes another, still on his feet as he comes to the right. He has a man chasing him from behind. Can he outrun him? One to beat down there at the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the 8-yard line.
Yeah, that young man has been electrifying on kickoffs and punt returns this year. One of the few juniors who get touches, Greg, and that just brought the crowd to life.
Just what the doctor would have ordered for the Blue Devils here.
Oh, no, we're going to bring it back, Greg.
No. Oh, well, another penalty.
I think we're going to still get good field position, but nothing what we had.
That's too bad. I don't know how else to say that. Kyrene Zimmerman just...
I think Coach Tanina's phrased it a little differently.
Yeah, I'm sure. Zimmerman, the 5'7", 140-pound junior with lots of speed. And now the ball will be spotted at the 44 in Greencastle territory. The same place West Perry had the ball to start the drive. Blue Devils in that wing T formation with a slot to the left. Going to give it straight up the middle this time to Burton. Burton goes up to the 50.
James Hines, Greg.
Hines, got it to the 50-yard line.
Yep. And he had 97 yards. He's the second leading rusher on the team. And Greencastle's getting 7.3 yards a carry the first 2 games. That's pretty unbelievable. But I really believe what's opened up that running game, Greencastle's traditionally been a running game, but now the element of the pass, and I think Spencer Myers has gotten off to a great senior year controlling this offense, and hopefully that'll continue.
Myers is under center, toss back now to Burton. Burton left side. He'll pick up the first down, still on his feet as he goes around the left side. Knocked down inside the 40-yard line. Spot will be at about the 37-yard line. First down, Blue Devils.
Demetrius Burton, electrifying sophomore, had 100. He leads the team with 245 yards rushing this year. Kind of had a breakout game against Littlestown. When he gets the edge, it's tough to contain him.
Certainly is. You know, you talked about first downs and how important they were for the Blue Devils last week, and that we had to stop West Perry. They picked up 3 in that drive to keep that drive moving. Myers looking to pass, right side roll, stops, now sees a running room up the middle, and he has some space, goes to the outside, gets a nice block from Peck, and runs out of bounds around the 20-yard line, takes it right to the 20 for a Blue Devil first down.
Spencer's not going to win too many races, but that was very crafty. And again, we talked about it, a 2.5-year starter. He just looks so comfortable out there. The game looks slow to him. He goes back, he reads the defense, nothing there, and picks up another first down.
Yep, I'm impressed how Spence is dealing when the pocket collapses. Yep. He stays in there and really does a great job.
The game seems very slow to him right now, which is a real positive when you're playing quarterback.
Pitch back to Burton. Burton gets hit in the backfield and brought down right away by Curtis Fry. Fry is a senior, 5'9", 170 pound, and is thrown for a 2-yard loss.
Nice play by Fry. Got around the edge there and drug Burton down. 2nd and 11, Greg.
That's a situation they haven't seen much. 5:42 up on the board. That's remaining in the first quarter. Just tuning our way. West Perry put together a 10-play, 56-yard drive, capped off by a 6-yard run. They had 3 first downs in it, converted 2 critical third downs, and with that, or 1 critical third down. With that, they lead 6-0. Play action. Spencer fires a little low for the intended receiver, Hines, coming out of the backfield. So that will make it now a 3rd down situation for the Blue Devils.
It's a shame, our line's done such a nice job this year, and we'll definitely get to name all those young men tonight. But that's one of the few times Spencer was hurried, because I think he had some guys. I know it's very easy up here, but he had a couple guys deeper in the pattern, but he had to dump it off low.
Lee Plaster at the right tackle, Casey Bard at the left tackle. It is Dante Tyler at the right guard, along with Sean Walk, left guard, Randy Harns, the center. Here comes Spencer looking to pass again. Screen pass to Parker. Parker straight up the middle, bounces off one and brought down inside the 10-yard line. That's going to be really close to a first down.
Well, Greencastle ran a lot of screens last week with a lot of success, and that will bring up another first down. And Greg, get ready for a track meet. What was that score we were talking about in the beginning?
107 to 90. 107
better
to 90.
Pick it up a little bit, but
yeah, I think by now it would have had to been 25-25 in that ball game. Blue Devils will send Peck wide to the left side. Parker in the slot to the left and Spencer out of the gun. Fires for Peck. Oh, had it, dropped it. I don't know if he got tipped in there by
Wilson, I believe, was on the
cover. It was Wilson, yep.
Two good athletes out there, Bray Peck and Wilson on each other. I think it was just a little bit behind him.
So a 2nd and goal from the 9.5-yard line facing the Blue Devils here. Spencer 1 for 3. Last week he started out, 7 for 7.
Yep.
They're going to have 3 receivers to the left, more or less. 1 in the backfield, 1 to the right. Burton, the lone setback. Gives it to Burton on the quick handoff, and he goes straight up the middle, keeps his legs moving, and it's going to be down close to the 6-yard line on this one.
Greencastle's had 7 running backs gain positive yardage for them, and they've had 7 receivers catch the ball. So we talked a lot. They have a lot of different weapons to go to. Greg makes it very tough for a defense.
Blue Devils bring Jeffries into the ball game with the play from the sidelines. He'll go out to the wide-out position on the left side, the far side of the field. And Measles will go out there with him in the slot. Parker out there also. So trips to the left. Tight end Peck to the right side by himself. Myers rolling to that side. Look, fires, throws, completed
catch
to Derek Measles for the touchdown. Measles gets one through the air, and the Blue Devils have answered.
Nice pass by Spencer Myers, rolling against his body, but Derek Measles in the back of the end zone and makes a nice catch, gets 1 foot down, and the big missed extra point. Austin Smith has been automatic for us. Let's see if he can give us a lead.
It will be. Well, interesting. That was a 6-yard pass. West Perry worked on a 7 or 6-yard run for their score. Snap is down. Crispin the holder, and it is good for Austin Smith. Blue Devils up 1 on West Perry at the 4:01 mark. We'll be right back on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. Use home equity funds for big purchases or to pay off high-interest bills. Apply today and rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory offer. Visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face.
Now the Blue Devils put together an 8-play, 56-yard drive, capped by the 6-yard touchdown pass from Spencer Myers to Derek Measle, and the extra point by Smith is good. By the way, Smith on extra points, he is 8 of 9 coming into the ball game, make that 9 of 10. One was blocked, and unfortunately that counts against him on the extra point things. Spencer Myers has thrown his 4th touchdown pass. Short kick is fumbled a little bit, but then taken by Gabe Puchowski. He brings it up to inside the 45. They're going to spot that at the 44. Crispin gets the tackle.
You know, you don't want Nick Wilson to run it back, but I think Coach Tinnis wanted that down the field a little bit farther because West Perry is going to get great field position to start this possession already at the 44.
6th catch of the season for Derek Measle, his 2nd through-the-air touchdown. He has 1 running also in this young season for the Blue Devils. Here comes the offense back out again for West Perry that was very successful in their first opening drive, starting 2 yards up from where they were the last time. Going to give it to the up back Wilson once again. This time, Greencastle reads that a little bit better, only 2 yards on the pickup. And it looks like getting out of the pile, it was Anderson. As you mentioned, he's been playing a heck of a game at nose guard.
Jeremy Anderson's really been playing well, anchoring that defense in the middle. Just nowhere to go. He's a big guy, and he's a strong young man. And I think he's quicker than he looks. So he's a lot to handle in there.
Nate Cilantro under center with 1 step back, 2-step drop throw, quick out to the outside, hits May at the 49-yard line. May brought down by Derek Measle at about the 40. They'll call forward motion at the 49.
Great play by Derek Measle, and that's what stops that. A quick out. It's all about trying to beat one guy, and Derek Measle made a real nice one-on-one tackle out there until his friends came to help out. And now you got third and 6, and you got to watch Wilson, but right now I'll take my chances with West Perry throwing the ball.
Yeah, that looked pretty good there at that point of the time. Blue Devils, by the way, took 3 minutes and 23 seconds to score that catch-up touchdown. Go-ahead touchdown at this point in time. Wilson, straight up the middle, has some running room, 1 man to beat, and he does. He's going to go down the left sideline for a quick score from the 51.5-yard line. And look out, folks. West Perry came to play.
Well, Nick Wilson put up 136 yards on East Pennsboro last week, averaged over 5 yards a carry. We knew that coming in, and they just collapsed the right side of the Greencastle line, and Nick Wilson did the rest. They did. You hit it on the head. They came to play. Someone forgot to tell them they're 0-2.
Yeah, I think so at this point. We'll see if Messner can atone for the miss to the left last time. Snap is down. The kick is up. That one is a line drive shot, but it goes through the uprights. So now it is 13-7. As West Perry answers quickly on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Have heating or air conditioning needs? Look no further than Lecron's Comfort Solutions. We service all brands: heat pumps, humidifiers, system replacements, gas, oil, electric heat, and ductless systems. Lecron's Comfort Solutions is your authorized Terrain dealer. Call Corey at 717-597-3768 for a free estimate. We are licensed and insured. Lecron's Comfort Solutions. Local company, local name. Serving Greencastle and all of Franklin County with professional service and installation.
From our friends at Hagerstown, Honda.
This is Greencastle-Antrim Blue Devils football on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Mustangs lead 13-7. at the 2:31 mark. Only took them a minute and 30 seconds to score that touchdown. It was a 3-play drive capped off by the 51-yard run. Zimmerman fumbled it back in the backfield, pulls it out, and then gets thrown down at the back of the 22-yard line. You know, a lot of times when the receiver for the kickoff fumbles the ball, everyone overreacts, and you can get a big play. Not this time.
Sometimes you see the defense just stop.
Yes.
And no, unfortunately, Kyron didn't field it very cleanly. Well, we got a track meet breaking out here. I think we're going to have an entertaining game, that's for sure, Greg.
Well, that's right. I guess you can't complain about that too much. As we told you, it's 13-7. Blue Devils trail West Perry. This is just the second offensive series for the Blue Devils. Quick handoff to Burton, trying to get out of the backfield, and does not get out of the backfield. They're not even going to move the sticks 1 inch. They're going to let it right where it was, 2nd and 10.
You know, going into the game, we said the Greencastle defense hasn't been tested at all. And right now they need to make some adjustments, especially whatever's happening on the right side of that line. That's where Wilson's really picking up major chunks of yards.
Blue Devils come out. They'll have Burton in the slot to the right. Zimmerman in the backfield and in motion. High snap, and Spencer can't bring it down. Coming in there quickly to do so is Curtis Fry. Second time he's been in the backfield, and a bad snap cost the Blue Devils here to a long 3rd down.
Well, that's not a fumble, but it definitely does not help. You know, muffed snap, I guess is the best way to say it. So Greencastle has had a couple big penalties. That big long run back had hurt him, and now a muff snap. So need to clean things up here.
That snap is good. Spencer just drops back in the pocket, eludes one, fires out here, completes the pass at the 30 to 28-yard line to Burton, who came out of the backfield. It's going to be shy of the 1st down, and the punting unit comes on that one. So the first 3 and out. And if you're West Perry, you got to say, yeah.
You know, if I'm West Perry, I'm thrilled with the way things are going right now. Their big boys definitely involved. Wilson, they're going to get out of this first quarter with the lead.
It is Spencer at the 15-yard line. Line drive, punt. May will look to field it, and he does at the 35. Hand on him by Chrisman. He gets by. There is a penalty on the play, as you saw the push in the back. Fumble, but recovered by West Perry back at the 30-yard line.
A lot of things happening on that play, Greg.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how they sort it out, because I'm not really sure.
There's definitely a push in the back on the Mustangs.
So does the fumble negate the penalty, or? So we'll see. Where's the fumble flag? Okay. There is the back, the illegal push in the back against West Perry. So 1st down for West Perry. They'll march off the penalty.
And they marked it off from the fumble, which is very advantageous for Greencastle. And that, at minimum, will flip the field. Spencer Myers doesn't have the high booming kicks, but he really gets the job done as a punter.
28.3 seconds left in the first quarter of play. Blue Devils trailing 13-3, or excuse me, 13-7, as Solandro under center. Wilson the call. Straight up the left side. Only picks up about 2 or 3 yards on the carry.
Andrew Votrel, number 27, played very solid for Greencastle the first 2 games. And I think Greencastle's a little stunned. I think they need to pick up a little fire, play with a little edge here going into the second quarter.
I'm a little stunned. That is the end of quarter number 1, as the Blue Devils, surprisingly, trailing this one behind the West Perry Mustangs 13-7 on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. With the home equity line of credit from F&M Trust, you can pay less rate and add more great to your life. Get extra funds to pay off high-interest bills, tackle home remodeling projects, or make other big purchases. Apply today and you'll rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory rate. For details, connect with any local branch or visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Football season is here, and Klein Tours has your ticket and bus transportation to NFL action. We have trips to all Baltimore Ravens home games. Join Klein Tours as we travel to Miami to watch the Ravens play the Dolphins December 6th through 9th. We have your ticket and transportation to see the Washington Redskins. Trips to New York City, Atlantic City, multi-day tours, and more. Klein Tours, the Tri-State's #1 tour and travel agency. Visit us online at kleintours.com or phone 717-597-5997.
MidPennBroadcasting.com.
West Perry out of the I formation. Handoff goes to Wilson, the up back in the lineup. He's thrown for a loss on the play, maybe a yard. Let's see if they move those sticks back. And we'll wait for the spot from the official. They do. They move it back a yard. So on that second down play, the Blue Devils come through with a tackle for a loss. So it's 3rd down and 8.
Sam Sprague came up from a safety position there to get involved in that play, and Greencastle's going to have to do something different, whether it's bringing safeties up to help out and run support, but they're going to have to get this Tiger by the tail and slow down the Mustangs.
I was going to say they were the Mustangs, not the Tigers, but you beat me to it, so that works out.
I couldn't think that quickly about how to, I guess, get the Mustang back in the
corral.
The corral.
Yeah,
There you go.
Thank you. Shotgun, looked like motion to me, no call on that one. Scrambling around, and a thrown for a loss is the quarterback, and it is done by Sean Walk, I believe. Well, let me check my numbers. Oh, Seth Martin, excuse me, Seth. Sorry about that. Great job. And that brings up the punting situation for them.
Huge sack. Again, it's going to flip the field, give Greencastle a great field position. And Seth Martin, I don't know if Braypeck's hurt, or they're just giving him a little break right now or saving him for offense. But Seth Martin's playing defensive end right now.
Kick gets away and shanks to the left and goes out of bounds somewhere, probably around the 30-yard line.
That looked like my tee shot there.
It sure did. I'm not going to argue with you, Rick. I'm not going to argue with you. They're going to spot it at the 25. So that punt puts the Blue Devils in excellent field position. With 10:34 remaining here in the second quarter, they'll get the ball at the 25-yard line, 25 yards away from pay dirt. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I know he had a heavy rush, but nevertheless, Blue Devils will take advantage of the miscue. Myers under center, 2 in the backfield. Wideouts both sides. Straight back, has protection, throwing timing pattern here for Measles. Measles,
nice catch!
What a catch, and touchdown, Blue Devils. Wow.
Spencer Myers put that right on he got destroyed as well right after he let it go and dropped it right in, and Derek Measles kept great concentration. Wow. Woo.
You know, one of these days, we're going to be able to rewind that camera and show you that on instant replay. We're just happy right now to have it up and running. So, yeah, we are just happy we got it. But what a play. First play from scrimmage on that series, and it is 6 on the board, and we'll make it 7 as the Smith kick is good. Blue Devils regain the lead 14-7 right here on the F&M Trust Sports Network, 14-13, excuse me, on midpennbroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Football season is here, and Klein Tours has your ticket and bus transportation to NFL action. We have trips to all Baltimore Ravens home games. Join Klein Tours as we travel to Miami to watch the Ravens play the Dolphins December 6th through 9th. We have your ticket and transportation to see the Washington Redskins. Trips to New York City, Atlantic City, multi-day tours, and more. Klein Tours, the Tri-State's #1 tour and travel agency. Visit us online at kleintours.com or phone 717-597-5997.
MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Blue Devils were able to put together a one-play, 25-yard touchdown pass from Spencer Myers to Derek Measles. Measles is second of the ball game through the air. He's third on the season. That whole incident there took 8 seconds for the Blue Devils. Kickoff goes back to May. May trying to make something out of nothing as a bunch of blue is up there. He's going to get it to the 30-yard line. West Perry will take over possession of the football at their own 30-yard line.
You know what I do like, Greg? Greencastle, I think, got a little stunned in the beginning. West Perry came out. but the Blue Devils are answering. They're making some plays on defense. They're going to put a lot of pressure on the Mustangs to keep up, and we'll see if they can do it for a whole game.
Mustangs have thrown but 2 times. They're 1 for 2, and that one was only for a 3-yard gain. They will work out of the traditional I formation, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Blue Devils in that 3-4 defense are working from the left hash. Straight 2-step drop and timing pattern, not so much. Incomplete pass as it was intended for Bochowski, and it will fall short, not even close.
Salantaro, the quarterback, completes only about 43% of his passes. So, again, I think if Greencastle can, Wilson's the key. We've seen that. So you got to keep him. He just checked back into the game. You've got to make sure he doesn't break any long ones. Make them work for it. And that's one of the things about Greencastle. They can score quick. It's very hard to go 10 possessions down the field. They have the ability to score quickly.
Here they go out of the I again. Oh, they jumped. They had to. Come on. There it is. I'm sorry. I've always said I was a basketball official, track and field and cross country, which you don't have to make a lot of close calls. Basketball, is pretty hectic. So I'm not usually on the officials, but it looked like that was a late flag, and he just jumped. There's no doubt about it.
Coaching sports, I've always believed an official can be wrong as long as they're emphatic and quick with the call. And he was a little late, but it was the right call. He got it straightened out.
They'll put
Wilson split to the left here, Greg.
Yeah,
this
that'll be
is interesting.
Yep, with Measles on him man-to-man. Straight back, looking to pass. They're going to throw that timing pattern up here for Measles. Oh, he makes the catch at the 45. Gets by Measles. Now it's Crispin to bring him down, or Sprague, and it is Crispin that brings him down at the 23-yard line. Wow.
I got to give Salantaro a lot of credit. I just questioned or gave out 43% accuracy. He dropped that one right on the receiver. A great pass.
Yeah, it's going to be recorded down at the, it's going to be, 20, 40, 45, 46, 48-yard pass on that one. And pretty remarkable. And he did. He gave it to, and who else but Wilson?
Yep.
It's Wilson. Wilson has 2 touchdowns on the ground. So the work now from the 22-yard line, 1st and 10 inside Blue Devil territory, moving left to right. The right hash mark, as you see on the screen, is their location. They're going to give it to the up back once again, or the down back, Sear. Sear goes to the 20-yard line exactly with a 2-yard pickup.
Tyler Graham won the tackle.
9:18 here as Graham gets credit for the tackle. Blue Devils lead this one by 14-13. And at the 20-yard line, a whole host of games we'll be trying to catch you up on at halftime. I formation once again, wideouts both sides of the field. My bet is, fumble, but the quarterback, Nate Cilantro, is on it, and it will be a loss of the play.
Nate's only 5'8", 160, but you can tell he's a leader out there.
5'8", Nate. 3rd and 9.
Another great crowd for Greencastle tonight. It's always good to see. They're having a neon out in the student section tonight.
Is that what it is? Last week it was an Hawaiian theme. This week, and there's the second timeout, West Perry. Between the band and the student section over there, they have things happening pretty good. Here's something good, Rick. Through a quarter and a quarter of a quarter, Greencastle has only committed 2 penalties for 15 yards. West Perry has 3 for 20 yards. So that one thing we're talking about, they're doing well. The second thing was we haven't thrown an interception or fumbled the ball yet. They're doing well, and yet they're still only up by 1 point.
Well, and the last thing, was containing Wilson, and he's gotten loose, and he's a better player than advertised. I mean, he's a heck of an athlete, and their offensive line has done a good job. No one gets those yards without some blocking, but he's a handful. He's a nice-sized kid. He's 5'11", 180. He's got great speed. So they're going to have to adjust and know where number 24 is at all times.
That they will. So trips to the left, lone setback out of the shotgun, and that one's going way over Cilantro's head, and he is he falls on it back of the 41-yard line. A bad snap out of the shotgun, and that just takes them out of this one.
And you know what? You feel for Coach Bowden there. That's where I'll say coaching is so overrated, Greg. They've obviously have a good game plan. They've scouted Greencastle well. They come in, they worked hard. Whatever play they had doesn't even get off because of a bad snap. And, that's a tough one. It changed everything on that. And now we're going to receive a punt. I think this is going to sail into the end zone.
Yep, Messner, the kicker, now is also the punter. He puts it in the end zone. The Blue Devils will bring it out of the 20-yard line. By the way, that snap to him was pretty doggone good. So.
It was. And, like we always say, they're kids. The lights are on. You never know exactly, how they're going to react. And, it's not as easy on centers these days as it used to be. You used to just hike it back. Now you have shotguns, the spread, the pistol. You've got to keep all that clear. And unfortunately for them, it didn't work out. Waynesboro's taking an early lead over Gettysburg 7-0, Greg.
Boy, and that would be a big win for the Indians. Greencastle offense with the football. Spencer Myers comes out on the bootleg to the left side, gets a little running room, knocked hard out of bounds at the 30, close to the first down. Last year, that Gettysburg game is where it all fell apart for Waynesboro for a brief moment. They were able to get it back together after that, but they just really had some problems after that ball game.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it was everything that off the,
Yes.
It was stuff that should never, ever happen at any level, let alone the high school level. But, the Indians seem to have been regrouping, and that would be a real nice win for them and set up a big game eventually down the road against the Blue Devils.
It would. Out of the gun with Dimitri on the side, and Myers gets a lucky bounce off the turf, comes around the left side, still on his feet, and runs it down over the 35 to the 36. I saw what happened there. For one brief moment, Spence took his eye off the center.
Exactly. Yep, that was a good snap. And that happened twice last game, if you remember. They were good snaps, just getting a little anxious.
Illegal shift for the Blue Devils. So I spoke too soon about that.
And that was the first down that we lost there. So,
yes.
Those are the ones, I always say in basketball, there's turnovers and then there's turnovers. You're in a half-court situation, you turn the ball over, your defense can get back. It's when you have an opportunity to score points and miss the layup because of a bad pass, those are points that you lose or turnovers out front. That's a bad penalty, Greg.
That is. Myers straight back, looking the pass. Now it's that screen to Parker. And Parker has it with a lots of running room to the 30, the 40, the 50, and knocked out of bounds inside West Perry territory, down to the 40-yard line.
Well, Bailey Parker's made a living this first part of the season on those screen passes. A big addition back, and it gives them another weapon. And we talked about that. There's a lot of guys to go to. Spencer Myers steps back, drops it off to Bailey Parker. The one thing that Greencastle has, and I said it earlier, and I don't know if I said it properly, is when you have the ability to make big plays, it changes everything. It really does.
Single set in the backfield. That is Hines. And it will be, again, the most he's probably run all season. Spencer Myers, I don't know if that was a broken play or what.
You know what? I just was kind of thinking of that myself. I'm not sure if that was designed or not designed. The way Spencer's body language is, I don't think that was designed.
No, I don't think so either. He has, coming into the game, 7 carries. Positive yards, by the way, for 31 yards, 4.4 per carry, which is unusual from a quarterback because you usually get sacked and get those down. This one, he's run the ball about 4 times already. That one, I don't think he wanted to. Split backs in the backfield. Myers up under center. Handoff to Hines. Hines straight up the middle, barrels his way, still rolling and still up on his feet as he gets across the 30, the 25. They're going to spot it right at the 25-yard stripe.
It seems like we say it every week. What a tough runner number 17 James Hines is. He gets in there. He's really an undersized fullback in the wing tee, but again, he moves the sticks. And how many first downs do you have Greencastle for already, Greg?
I have them for 2. That last drive, they didn't need any, and they punted on 2, 3, 4, only 5. But, they 3 and out, and then they scored on the first play. They're going to run that misdirection to Zimmerman, and Zimmerman out to the outside, breaks through the middle, and in for the touchdown. That little misdirection play always gets them some great yardage.
It wreaks havoc for defensive backs. You're not quite sure. And Demetrius Burton's not very tall, and Kyron Zimmerman's not very tall. You get lost in there. That was not the smoothest inside handoff that added another layer of complexity to it. But Kyron, Zimmerman, again, another junior who just is coming out of nowhere to have a great season. And Austin Smith has a chance of an important one here to put us up 8.
Yeah, they become important as they have missed one, but he doesn't miss. And the Blue Devils do go up 21-13, 5-13 up on the scoreboard. The Blue Devils with the lead on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency, has been serving the tri-state area for 35 years. We specialize in screen printing and embroidered clothing. Del Martin Incorporated supplies a full range of brand-name uniforms for athletic, work, and medical applications, and a full line of advertising essentials. We have an in-house artist ready to put your ideas to work for you. T-shirts for schools, clubs, churches, and events. Del Martin Incorporated, 21 Sarah Susan Lane, Greencastle. Phone 717-597-5751 or online at delprint.com.
Well, Kyrie Zimmerman finally gets his first touchdown of the season. It was a 25-yard run on that little double side handoff, and 6 plays and 6 plays and 80 yards. The Blue Devils only took 2 minutes and 17 seconds, and now they lead 21-13.
If you're scouting the Blue Devils, you just went, oh my, that's the last thing they need is another weapon, and Kyron Zimmerman is turning into that. Here's where we got to tighten up, Greg. Again, the squib kick, I get why we're doing it, to keep it out of Wilson's hands, but we're giving West Perry really good field position, so we need the defense, to come up strong.
They'll start at the 40-yard line, West Perry will. At their own 40 with 60 yards to go, 5:06 and 2 timeouts they have used, so they only have 1 left. And pitch back goes nowhere. Blue Devils stall that one, 2-yard loss.
Jeffries made the play there, number 87, but also Bailey Parker broke through that side, made him cut it up. And, football is probably the most dependent sport of any other sport. It's really 11 guys have to do their job. And there's a case where Bailey Parker's not going to get any statistics or not going to get any notice, but he really made that play. And then Tyler Jeffries did a great job finishing it.
Wideouts both sides of the field, I formation. Tight end is to the near side as they work from the center of the field, moving left to right. Quick pass up, and just a little too hard for the intended receiver, Quaker. It falls incomplete. Just the 4th pass of the night for Nate Cilantro.
And when you're only a 5'8" quarterback, those quick slants, when you're not getting too much separation from the line, they're tough to see. But that looked like a pretty good pass.
5'8" and 8, right?
5'8" and 8.
Hard to see over that line. 3rd down, and again, 3rd down situation. This time it is 12 yards to the first down. 4:27 clock stopped after the incomplete pass.
And someone who stands a towering 5'9" to your left here, in the program anyway.
Yeah.
I played a little quarterback. I can tell you it's like a train wreck out there. You're just looking for your same color helmet down the field.
Straight back in the pocket this time, Cilantro. Looked like now he's going to throw
it
wide open.
Open.
Wilson down the left side to the 30, to the 20. Crispin will knock him down, and finally brought down by, that'll be, who has 20? That will be Andrew Votrel, and I don't know how he got so open.
Not when your number's 24. It was kind of a wheel route. They rolled the quarterback to the right, and Wilson went back door, so to speak, down the field. But, wow, you got to be aware of where he is at all times. I mean, you said it earlier. It's Wilson left, Wilson right, and Greencastle has to mark number 24. He's out of the game right now.
54-yard pass play. He's over 100 yards in receptions, over 100 yards, I believe, in running for Mr. Wilson. Handoff goes to the fullback, Sear to the right side of the line, up to about the 11. Let me see where they're spotting that. They're spotting that down at the 6-yard line. 6 yards away from a touchdown, 2nd and goal. Wow, that was huge. Huge.
Huge and easy.
Yeah.
Huge and just too easy.
So when you just think when you're getting ready to, put this game away, back they come again. May to the near side of the field is the wideout. I formation once again. It is Sear and it is Wilson in that I. And Wilson will get it. Left side, lots of room over there. Gets by one, and he's in for the touchdown.
Greencastle's just having a real problem setting any kind of edge over there, Greg, either on the right side or the left side. That time it was to the left side. They just can't contain him, and he's going to be on a big game now. The coaches' room's to our left, and they have the Dick Vermeil UCLA two-point conversion chart, when to go for two and when to go for one. But I think this is a good call. West Perry's going to try to even it up going for two.
Going for two here. It was a quick touchdown, too. That took 1 minute and 59 seconds. We haven't had a track meet. You've mentioned it before. It's been up and down the field. They will go for two. The lone setback in this one is Wilson.
And these become big. These become big points, Greg.
Straight back, looking to pass. Fires it to the left side. Oh, it catches it. Nice catch in there by number 88, Gabe Polchowski. And Polchowski has evened it up at 21. As you're right, good call, two-point conversion. And it is 21 all at this stage of the game. 3:07. We'll keep it here. So we're getting ready to go into halftime. 3:07, 21-21. Who would have thought this one at this point of the game?
Well, you said earlier we weren't quite sure how good Greencastle is, especially when you look at their scores. You don't know how bad West Perry is, or looking at their scores, everyone's kind of settling in. And I think Greencastle's, some of their flaws have been exposed, but it's nothing that's not fixable. And Nick Wilson has just been a fantastic player. Number 24, Hunter Wilson. He has done everything. He might have drove the bus here for him. But I know that young man's going to sleep well tonight.
Kickoff from Scott Messner. They kick from left to right here, 3:07. Time for the Blue Devils to put a drive together. They go short on the kick. It's going to roll. It's free right now.
Oh, wow.
Finally covered down for the Blue Devils by Caleb Schaefer. And, you forget that sometimes. The ball starts rolling loose back there. It is a free ball on the kickoff.
And that's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, you forget these kids are playing in front of 3,000 people, lights, people screaming, and, you do. It's very hard to keep your focus on that and think about that. It's not a punt. It's a live ball. So let's see what Greencastle can do here with 3 minutes left. And you got Wilson. They've been interesting switch defensively. Wilson's now matching up with Measle.
Straight back of the pocket, under heavy pressure, and Spencer gets hit hard. He throws it away.
I think they were trying to set up a screen to Burton there, and it wasn't there. And that was a good live to play another play by Spencer Myers.
2nd and 10 for the Blue Devils from the 24-yard line. Long way to go to pay dirt. 3 minutes to do so. They have all their timeouts remaining, so they can effectively use the clock here in this situation.
And now I'm a big believer in this, Greg. Psychologically, I think West Perry really needs to hold here. They don't want to be behind going into halftime.
Myers fires. Has an open man. Jeffries with the catch.
Gleichman.
Oh, he fumbled the ball. It's on the carpet, and it's going to be West Perry's football.
He never had it cleanly, and then when he started to run with it, as soon as he got hit, he lost it. That's a shame. That would have been a big... It turns out being a big momentum switch for West Perry, and a big opportunity for the Blue Devils goes back the other way.
Well, there is no doubt about it. Unless something drastic happens here, Rick, the momentum is in line for the West Perry Mustangs.
I think if I'm the Mustangs, number 24 is going to get this about 7 more times before the half. They're splitting him out here. Again, the last time they did this, they hit him deep.
Put Oko on him this time. 3-step drop, quick pass across the middle. It is complete and finally brought down after he dragged his defender, Measle, a couple yards up the field by May. It's going to be about 2 yards shy of the first down.
Cilantro, the quarterback, for you look at his stats coming in, he's done a nice job. He's done a real nice job. And that was a nice play call. That Wilson over here obviously had our attention. Then they went the other way on a quick slant, and he was open.
He's thrown 6 times, completed, I'm going to say 4 out of 7, unofficially. Another passing situation. They're going to run that slant play and right straight through the hands of the intended receiver, Quaker.
That sure was.
Yeah. I mean, it went through his hands. 2:13 clock will be stopped. West Perry does have one timeout left here in the first half of play.
Now, Greg, what's interesting here, and you've made this comment a couple times on the air, the last several years, Greencastle has not forced many turnovers at all.
No.
And this is where you could really use your defense to pick you up and make a big play.
We've had one interception so far this year through the first 3 games. Jeffries last week. Wilson straight to the middle of the crowd. This time he's not going anywhere. He stopped as he gets up to about the 40. In fact, it's a loss of a yard, and that will cause a interesting 4th down situation for West Perry. Are they going to give the ball back to the Blue Devils? 1:53 to go. They're going to keep it. They're just going to try to run the clock out.
Yeah, and I guess I was thinking Coach Taninis might think about a timeout, but it looks like both coaches might be content just to take this into the half.
At 21-21, that is the halftime score. You did not hear that wrong. 21-21. In fact, they're going to take it down perhaps to the last second possible and call the timeout. Wow, it's one of those situations again, Rick. We talked about it against Chambersburg. I don't think we had to talk about it against Littlestown, but I just don't know that I want to be inside the locker room at halftime for the Blue Devils.
Well, again, we're not scouting, we're not at practice, but I guarantee you Wilson was discussed. And, the costly penalties and containing Wilson were, 2 of the 3 keys we talked about. And unfortunately, it shows how talented Greencastle is to kind of play this way and still be tied. To be honest with you.
Well, we said that last week too. There's a lot of things to improve on, yet you're still 2-0, and there's a lot of things to improve on in this ball game, and it's tied at 21. Yep. Here we go. 4th and 3.5 yards at best. Everybody up tight. Looks like a sneak to me, but that would be a long sneak. They moved. That changes everything. And that was Wilson. So you can't. What are you going to say? Hey, Hunter, what are you doing? Well, the only reason we're tied is I'm here. So he gives the Blue Devils the punt.
Well, and that's, let's go back to the Chambersburg game. We questioned a play call with 10 seconds left to give Greencastle a shot. A minute 27 left now, and that's a huge penalty because all of a sudden now Greencastle is going to get the ball with an opportunity to do something. Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. It goes out of bounds as it goes off Kyrene.
Great punt.
Yeah, it was. Down to the 5-yard line, and it was headed out of bounds anyway. I don't think it was headed for the end zone. So the Blue Devils have possession at their own 5. Minute 19, 3 timeouts remaining here for the offense to try to throw something up here and see what happens.
I'm going to call for either a draw or a crisscross run here, Greg. See what they get. If they can get some yards, then they might get a timeout and get some things going. I'd be surprised if they throw out of what would almost be their end zone.
We've been surprised before.
This year more than
more. 6-yard line.
And I think he's going to take a knee.
Or not.
Nope.
Oh, some running room for Hines. Hines is just barreling up out. He pulls him out of that hole they're in and brings it up to the 15, 17-yard line. And here comes the hurry-up offense.
What we talked about. They got the 10 yards. It gives them some room. And whoop. Now what's going on?
I don't know, but clock should be winding, and it is.
It is winding. I'm a little surprised. We got up to the line of scrimmage, and then we re-huddled.
Yeah. Myers under center.
Take a shot at it here with Jeffries on the right side.
One set. Straight back in the pocket. Looking to throw. Has some time. Steps up and fires.
Oh!
It was in and out of the hands of the first intended receiver for Zimmerman and almost went into Burton's hands.
We almost had the immaculate reception, too, there.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Incomplete pass for Myers with 49.9 seconds up on the clock.
We're going to take one more shot at it here. You have Gleichman, who caught a long one against Chambersburg. You got Bray Peck split out, so you got a lot of height.
You got Parker sitting in the slot to the left. No, that's Hine looking to help on the run defense here. And it is Burton who takes it up to the 20-yard line. I think they thought they would catch him off guard. Not such the case. So third down situation.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see another run like that. I don't think they're going to take any chances of punting the ball again.
No, they're certainly not going to punt it away. And the rate they're going here, this is going to be the last play of the first half. Stay with us for the Antrim Insurance halftime show. Straight back in the pocket, looking to throw, rolls right, fires out here, has an open man, and Zimmerman. Zimmerman makes the catch at the 38, brings it up to the 39-yard line, and they'll move the sticks at 11.4. And they're going to call a timeout.
I think you got to, don't you?
I would think.
There you go, yep.
Yeah, there you go. The timeout's taken by the Blue Devils. Remember, they got 3. That's the first one. And so they got 2 of them left here. But really don't have a lot. At best, they can get use of one more. 11.4 seconds here, Rick. The scoreboard shows up on the F&M Trust scoreboard, 21-21. And
Austin Smith's long field goal is 32 yards. He did miss one last week from, I'm going to say, is about 40, Greg. And I think he had the leg. He just missed it a little to the, just kind of kicked it too low, really. But he had the leg. But I think you're going to have to get to a minimum the 25-yard line to get him on the field.
Well, certainly they're out of range right now. Because that would be like a 60, 70-yard field goal. But there was a high schooler that kicked a 70-yard field goal last week too. Yeah, it's amazing.
That is
really
amazing.
Trying to think 7 yards where the ball was spotted, but
wow.
Out of the shotgun, Burton to his left, straight back in the pocket, heavy rush, steps out of the pocket. There's a flag and a lame duck as he got hit trying to go down. That'll stop the clock. Be interesting. That almost has to be against the Blue Devils a hold.
I would think so. I'm not sure what else it could be. I think if you're Greencastle now, you just take a knee and we go in and start this again, Greg.
Yep. I think
before something silly happens.
Fourth penalty. It was a holding penalty. And so that brings it from, they're going to walk off 5. They're going to walk off 10. 10-yard penalty. Believe you to be right. First and a lot of green area to cover with 5.7 seconds left. 22 to get a first down. Not that would matter. The only thing they could hope to do here is score because they will not get another playoff. Myers will go up under center. Not going to take a knee because they're not in a victory stance. They're going to hand off to Burton. Burton through the hole, shuts through, and still on his feet. Clock winds down, and he is still on his feet. Finally brought down at the 49-yard line. Nice run. That'll add to the totals. But the half has come to an end here, and the Blue Devils and the Mustangs of West Perry are tied at 21-21. Back with the Antrim Insurance halftime show on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
And our Greencastle-Antrim midget football cheerleaders performing for you this evening.
Bills. Apply today and rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory offer. Visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Had an auto accident? It's common to wonder how things could have turned out differently if only. No regrets. If only you had Erie Insurance. With Erie, instead of regrets, you can focus on putting your mishap behind you. With an Erie Rate Lock auto policy, your rate won't take a hit, no matter what. It stays put until you change a car, driver, or address. People who treat you fairly, legendary service, great rates. That's what it means to have seriously good insurance for your auto, home, or business. Erie Insurance. See for yourself why Erie received the J.D. Power Award for highest in customer satisfaction with the auto insurance purchase experience, 3 years in a row.
Your Erie agent in Greencastle and Waynesboro is Antrim Insurance Agency. Get a quote at AntrimInspa.com.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Limited to 3 years in Virginia. Other conditions and limitations at ErieInsurance.com. For J.D. Power Award information, go to JDPower.com.
Erie Insurance.
Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency, has been serving the tri-state area for 35 years. We specialize in screen printing and embroidered clothing. Del Martin Incorporated supplies a full range of brand name uniforms for athletic, work, and medical applications, and a full line of advertising essentials. We have an in-house artist ready to put your ideas to work for you. T-shirts for schools, clubs, churches, and events. Del Martin Incorporated, 21 Sarah Susan Lane, Greencastle. Phone 717-597-5751 or online at delprint.com.
Have heating or air conditioning needs? Look no further than Lecron's Comfort Solutions. We service all brands: heat pumps, humidifiers, system replacements, gas, oil, electric heat, and ductless systems. Lecron's Comfort Solutions is your authorized Terrain dealer. Call Corey at 717-597-3768 for a free estimate. We are licensed and insured. Lecron's Comfort Solutions. Local company, local name. Serving Greencastle and all of Franklin County with professional service and installation.
This is Greencastle-Antrim Blue Devils football on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna
Welcome back. It is at the half
good
here. The halftime show brought to you by Antrim Insurance, your local Erie insurance agent serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding area. Antrim Insurance, 169 South Antrim, Greencastle, and 1685 East Main Street, Waynesboro. We are tied at 21 apiece at the half. And, wow, James Buchanan and Camp Hill, 42-0. Camp Hill winning, which is not a surprise by any way. We will review some other scores as we move along here, but we're going to talk about this first half, Rick. You know, it started out the first three possessions of the ball game. Everybody scored, and we thought, okay, this is going to be one of those types. It slowed down a little bit. We did have three more scores. Both teams on possessions, 3 of 6 in their possessions they have scored. And your keys to a victory was they had to, stop the penalties. And for the most part, Blue Devils have 4 penalties. When you're averaging 14, okay, we're okay there. 4 penalties for 30 yards. And you had to really reduce the turnovers. They did have 1 on a fumble. I guess that's a reduction in turnover, but again, they were driving when that occurred, so that certainly hurt. But your third and most important was you had to contain Wilson. I'm just looking for his first name, Hunter Wilson.
Or Hunter, I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep
We'll make it up. Hunter Wilson, and that is something the Blue Devils have failed to do miserably.
Well, he's been spectacular. I mean, he's done it all. Carried the team. He's gotten good blocking up front. Greencastle, it's not a quantity of turnovers and penalty problem. It's when they've occurred that have really hurt them. And, you know, I think, you know, you mentioned it earlier, and maybe I was wrong when you said, would this be a trap game before league play? You know, seeing the scores. And, you know, one thing I think as coaches, we all think that the kids don't read the paper and don't follow the scores and do the common score game like everybody. Oh, we played them and beat them, and they beat this team and things like that. So, you know, maybe Greencastle. And, you know, one thing, I think these kids have confidence. I think they know they're going to be a good this year. And sometimes you just have to be real careful with that confidence stays focused.
And there was a slip of confidence there because you know you got a key on Wilson. Now, I know that's easier said than done. I'm sitting up here, the best seat of the house on the 50-yard line, watching everything happen. Wilson's a strong runner. He scored twice on the run and 1 on the pass, caught another pass that set him up, but they failed to capitalize on that one. But he's getting some great blocking, and the Blue Devils offensively have done well. We'll review that real quickly. West Perry started out with a 6-yard run from Wilson. It was a 56-yard, 10-play drive for them. The kick went wide left. And in the beginning, that might have been the only bad thing that happened to them so far in this game, as the missed kick. The Blue Devils returned on a 6-yard pass play, or 6-yard, what was that? It was a pass to I didn't write it down, but it would have been to Measle.
Yep,
And then,
Measle in the corner of the end zone.
8 plays, 56 yards. Smith made it 7-0. Then they came right back and gave it to Wilson again. 51.5-yard touchdown run from Mr. Wilson, his second of the night. They made the kick good. It was 13-7. And then there was a punt from Greencastle, and then a punt from West Perry, and then the Blue Devils scored on another Measle catch. That was a beautiful one. One play, 25 yards, and the kick from once again from Smith made it good, and the Blue Devils seemed to be a little bit in control, 14-13. They caused another punt from West Perry, and then came back with a 25-yard run from Zimmerman on that little misdirection that they run, the inside handoff. 6 plays, 80-yard extra point from Smith was good, and now it's 21 to 14, and we thought, or 13. We thought, okay, things are looking good. Very next possession, 54-yard pass play. Wilson scores his third touchdown, 3 plays, and again, that was a 60-yard drive. The extra point, they went for 2, they got it. Blue Devils fumble on the very next one. West Perry punts. Greencastle runs out of time. That's where we are at the halftime. So again, the Blue Devils, they know what they have to do. They got to come out and contain Wilson, be it through the pass or be it through the run, and they just thought, again, we can score 21 points. That's a lot of points and a half. We're looking at 21 and 42 points. That's an average for the Blue Devils here so far this season. So they are scoring the points. The defense has to come and play.
They do, and I like your point too, that not just hold them. They need to force a turnover. We have enough athletes on defense to make some plays. We haven't said Sam Sprague's name very often. Bailey Parker's been quiet on that side, as well as Derek Measle. I mean, those are good athletes who are capable of making plays and making game-changing type of plays. Right. Bray Peck has been very quiet, actually been taken away from the defense now. So I think we need some of our playmakers to make plays. And, sometimes we can dissect it all we want, and that's what it comes down to.
You got to make the plays. Someone has to step up and make the plays. We'll see if the Blue Devils can do that. When we come back here on the Antrim Insurance Halftime Show, it's going to take a look at the other games going on throughout the area, check up on some scores on that. We'll do so right here on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. With the home equity line of credit from F&M Trust, you can pay less rate and add more great to your life. Get extra funds to pay off high-interest bills, tackle home remodeling projects, or make other big purchases. Apply today, and you'll rake in even more savings with F&M Trust's special introductory rate. For details, connect with any local branch or visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
There's nothing like being at the game. The excitement, the fun, the food, and all the waste. Whether it's popcorn boxes, hot dog wrappers, or this soda cup. Big games generate tons of waste. That's why Waste Management is helping stadiums and businesses reduce waste altogether through recycling and organic composting. To learn more, talk to your local Waste Management representative or visit thinkgreen.com.
Chalk Talk, the only program dedicated exclusively to Franklin County High School football, is on MidPennBroadcasting.com. Join Gary Klein and Mike Montadoro every Thursday night at 7:30, streaming live from John Allison Public House, 401 East Baltimore Street in Greencastle. We preview each week's upcoming games and talk with the players, coaches, and reporters. You're invited to join the conversation. Email us your questions and comments during the show. Chalk Talk on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Your home for Franklin County sports. This is MidPennBroadcasting.com.
I lost it. Can you get Cornwell back?
Welcome back. Halftime here. The halftime show brought to you by your local area insurance agent, Antrim Insurance, Greg Hoover, Rick Lewis, and our crack team of researchers have come up with some scores here from this week's going on. I do want to just briefly tell you, Big Spring last week with a 1-point win over Dover, 36-35. They are 2-0, and big game for them as they play Bowling Springs tonight, and we play Big Springs next week. That's why I'm bringing that up in that fashion.
And a good segue as your crack staff, Greg, is working hard over here. We have Boiling Springs up 14-3 on Big Springs right now. Currently, some other scores that have to do with the Franklin County area. James Buchanan is losing to Camp Hill 42-0. Unfortunately for them, the season continues to be a struggle. Bermudian Springs is up 13-6 at Shippensburg. Kind of an interesting score there. We have some other games. The big game in the greater Harrisburg area is Bishop McDevitt 27, Cumberland Valley 14.
Wow.
Another team on our schedule, Hershey, is down 20-7 at in the Cocoa Bowl against Milton Hershey. And then we have Susquehanna Township 10, CD East 9, and I bleed blue and gold for both the Greencastle Blue Devils, but as well as the Cedar Cliff Colts. And the Cedar Cliff Colts are up 31-13 over Cacalico.
Waynesboro is playing at Gettysburg.
We don't. Yeah, unfortunately,
we don't have that one.
We don't.
We may find that on the Twitter feed that we can get here at times and catch you up on that one. So Blue Devils again next week at Big Spring. Big Spring trailing Bowling Springs right now. Bowling Springs quite a surprise at this stage of the game at 2-0, and we'll see if they can rise to 3-0. Big Spring again. That was a big game as both teams came in there undefeated, and we found that interesting. As we mentioned, Greencastle will have a game with Hershey. They're right now sitting at 1-1 after getting crushed by Red Lion and then beating Elizabethtown last week. Northern, they're 1-1 too, losing to Middletown last week. Shippensburg, after losing to Dover, came back with a big win over Chambersburg. And then, of course, East Pennsboro with the big win over West Perry, 44-14. And here's the deal: if you're East Pennsboro, you're going, hey, that's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we only let them have 14 points, and there's the second one. I had 7 in one of my score sheets, so that is 14. That would have been the third touchdown that he had the extra point on.
We were looking for that.
Yeah, and you got to feel bad for James Buchanan. They've managed just 6 points throughout this season so far. Is game number 3, and they're getting rocked by Camp Hill, who, by the way, West Perry plays next week. So looking again, the only one we don't have is Waynesboro and Gettysburg.
Trying to get some other ones real quick here, Greg, and as we talked about it. Bless you. As the season, it does go quickly. It goes real quickly. Things are different than they used to be in everything. Everything is now set up for the playoffs. Basketball is such a condensed season anymore because a month and a half of playoffs. Yes. And, everybody has their different thoughts on it. I know I'm in the minority. Very few kids get to play a lot of games, and that's how I feel. But, again, I know I'm in the minority on that. But, football's kind of the same way. They've shortened the regular season to 10 games because of the playoffs, how it goes so long into other sports. If you can add 5 games, which is you can add half your season by going all the way to the States, which is,
Right, yes.
And that didn't happen until 1990. When I was in high school, Cedar Cliff went to the first state finals ever in 1989. In 88, you played your district. If you won the district, that was it.
That was it. You're right. One team went, but that has opened up a lot of opportunities. What amazes me is very seldom does the district champion make it to the state playoffs here. Northern is up 12-0. They're playing Mechanicsburg right now, and that's a big win for them if they come away with it. I looking again here and see what we can get from.
Trying to get a Waynesboro.
Yeah, it's 27.
Gettysburg. I can't get
Gettysburg. It is Waynesboro 27. Gettysburg nothing. Pretty amazing on that one. And so we're going to take a short break. We come back, we'll have the kickoff of the second half, see what the Blue Devils can put together for the next 24 minutes as they have this one tied 21-21 on the F&M Trust Sports Network on midpennbroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. Use home equity funds for big purchases or to pay off high-interest bills. Apply today and rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory offer. Visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Have heating or air conditioning needs? Look no further than Lecron's Comfort Solutions. We service all brands: heat pumps, humidifiers, system replacements, gas, oil, electric heat, and ductless systems. Lecron's Comfort Solutions is your authorized Terrain dealer. Call Corey at 717-597-3768 for a free estimate. We are licensed and insured. Lecron's Comfort Solutions. Local company, local name. Serving Greencastle and all of Franklin County with professional service and installation.
Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency, has been serving the tri-state area for 35 years. We specialize in screen printing and embroidered clothing. Del Martin Incorporated supplies a full range of brand name uniforms for athletic, work, and medical applications, and a full line of advertising essentials. We have an in-house artist ready to put your ideas to work for you. T-shirts for schools, clubs, churches, and events. Del Martin Incorporated, 21 Sarah Susan Lane, Greencastle. Phone 717-597-5751 or online at delprint.com.
When you're ready to break away from the routine and step into a hassle-free world of fun and adventure, Klein Tours is the partner you need to make fantasy a reality. For more than 20 years, Klein Tours Incorporated has taken care of all the details for people traveling from the four-state region of South Central Pennsylvania, Western Maryland, the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia, and Winchester, Virginia area. Whether you're looking for a 1- or 2-day tour to the bright lights of New York City or the fun and excitement of Atlantic City, we've got you covered. And we offer special bonus packages so you can get more for your hard-earned dollar. Klein Tours is not only your source for major sports events and tickets to Broadway shows, we also offer multi-day air trips to destinations like Las Vegas and New Orleans. Subscribe to our newsletter for travel updates, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. Our online travel center features real-time availability and purchasing is easy. Tours can also be reserved by phone at 717-597-5997.
This is a production of MidPennBroadcasting.com, where over 70 local sporting events a year stream live to your PC, laptop, phone, and tablet.
MidPennBroadcasting.com. Our halftime show brought to you by Antrim Insurance, your local area insurance agent serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding areas. Antrim Insurance, 169 South Antrim Way, Greencastle, and 1685 East Main Street in Waynesboro. Well, you know, the beauty of our broadcast, Rick, is when we go to break, we're still showing the video. Okay, those big companies, they don't do that because they don't have to, because they wait on them to come back out of commercial break. No one asks us when we're done with that one. So you saw the onside kick attempt. It did not work. Greencastle got it at the 49. You saw that pass play right there that went quickly out to Gleichman, and now the Blue Devils have the football and are running it straight up the middle as they have it deep in their own territory, or West Perry territory at this point.
Yeah, get ready to roll. Here we go. Greencastle on driving already, and it's nice to see Gleichman catch the ball and hold on to it there and get a first down after he had about a 25-yard pass reception, and unfortunately was one of the turnovers, fumbled the ball. So good to see him get his footing back a little bit.
2nd and 5 for the Blue Devils. Split the backs in the backfield. Spencer goes up under center, and 2-3-step drop, looks left, throws right, and overthrows his intended receiver that time. We're actually threw it fairly hard, which might have made it a little tough to catch for Luke Robinson.
A little hard, a little behind him, but I think Luke would have told you should have had that one. But 3rd and probably about 4.
Luke not playing a lot of offense this year, where he had played last year. He got to play ample time, but there's just a plethora, as we use that word frequently around here. Bootleg play action, going to throw out here to Hines. He can't hold on to it. Almost attached to the top of his helmet and then fell off. So 2 incomplete passes in a row to start the second half for Spencer Myers, who, by the way, was 6 of 10 in the first half. And for West Perry, they threw 8 times, 4 completions for Nate Cilantro. And now the Blue Devils facing a 4th down situation and 5. And obviously, they're going to go for it here.
Just a little out of field goal range. A good time to go for it. And let's see what they come up with. Maybe look for Burton to get something here.
Now they're going to do that misdirection with Measles, and this time Measles doesn't get anywhere. Going to be, I shouldn't say it, he gets really close to the first down, but he doesn't get it, so they're going to turn it over on downs.
Greg, when do you think we might start seeing Sam Sprague on offense a little bit? Another weapon that, because of his severe knee injury during basketball season, hasn't been brought along slowly and conservatively, which makes a lot of sense.
Right. That's a great question. I think at this stage of the game, you wouldn't see him until perhaps some injuries would occur because everyone else is filling the role in those offensive situations. Let's see what they do now. This is West Perry working from the 30-yard line, 31, and they're going to give it to the fullback. The fullback goes up the middle and is stopped right away.
Swallowed by number 68, Jeremy Anderson, Big Hoss, as he's known to his classmates, and he continues to impress. He's 6'1", 310 pounds. He's the biggest guy on the roster, but he's pretty nimble for a big guy, and he's a tough guy to handle up there, and he's had a really, really nice start to the season. Well, Greencastle looks like they've made a little adjustment to Sam Sprague, as we were just talking about, usually a safety. Looks like he's almost brought all the way up to linebacker here.
Yeah, it looks like they're playing like a 3-5. And so they're going to run the ball to Wilson. Wilson tries to go around the outside, doesn't go anywhere as Parker brings him down for yet another loss. 2 plays, 2 losses for the Blue Devils.
And we talked about Bailey Parker a little bit at halftime. He can be a playmaker on defense, and we need him to be. And sometimes it's simple as your players making plays. So, like you said, the Greencastle's kind of going to a 3-5-3, if you will, kind of a Rich Rodriguez defense to help out the run, and I kind of like that. I kind of like almost having one of the defensive backs almost following Wilson around.
They're running trips to the left side as they work from the right hash mark, straight back. Cilantro now he just heaves it up in the air and overthrows the intended receiver, May, and looking for, I think everybody looks for a flag and something like that, just out of
just because that's what you do.
That's right, yeah, no flags, and so it is 3 and out, and they will punt it away. Blue Devils went 4 and out last time, and now get the ball back and should have decent field position unless Messner can get a hold of one here.
I'm still very confident we can score, so I'm very pleased to see a 3 and out and see the defense kind of get their sea legs under them a little bit.
Line drive, Parker at the 38-yard line, straight up the middle, hit and brought down at the 45-yard line inside their own territory. So for the second time this half, Blue Devils have started in their own territory.
And part of pulling upsets, which let's face it, that's what West Perry was trying to do here, is believing you can do it. And we talk about this all the time in both basketball and football when we do these games, Greg. First couple possessions out of halftime are huge. So Greencastle held them to a 3 and out. If they could take this ball down and score, maybe they can reaffirm that, hey, we are the better team. Good half to you, Mustangs, but we're going to take care of business here. And Burton's got a lot of room right now.
Stiff arms and still on his feet as he comes around the 40. Oh, nice cut back in at the 30 and then down at the 25-yard line. Nice piece of running from Dimitri Burton.
And, let's also give a shout-out to number 63, Dante Tyler. It was a lead blocker there, and we kind of went to half pretty quick there. He was also the young man who jumped on the onside kick, and that was a surprise onside kick. It wasn't like they lined up and knew it was coming. He's another senior who's filled in for the injury to Jaron, so good job out of him.
Yeah, it came from the center position as that lead block, as you said. This is Hines straight up the middle and just doing what he does best, running hard inside the 20. They're in the red zone again to the 18-yard line.
I'd like to see Greencastle play with a little more tempo, Greg. They have such an explosive offense and so many guys to get the ball to. I think sometimes, and I know, again, it's much easier up here. It'd be nice to get them in more of a rhythm and really just keep the pressure on that other team.
Clock's going to be stopped for an injury timeout for the West Perry Mustangs. Hunter Whitcomb, who's a outside linebacker, has gone down, and he will be tended to by the Mustang training staff. Clock stopped at 8:24 on this one as we started the second half, knotted at 21 apiece. Blue Devils got the opening kickoff after a attempted onside kick. They were able to go deep into West Perry territory, but it was 4 and out, and then 3 and out, and a punt from West Perry. The Blue Devils have it back, and they are sitting inside the 20 at the 19-yard line.
It's actually turned into a pretty beautiful night, Greg. The nice breeze. It's cooled down.
Yeah, it really has. It was 80-some when we started this contest, but as you mentioned, it's dropped. Well, not necessarily significantly, but it's a nice temperature outside at this point. As always try to find out where we are here and never can get to it when I want to. It's still about 80 degrees. Real feel 78. There's that misdirection to Parker Bailey. Bailey Parker. And that's actually going to be no gain on the play. That was slow to develop.
Yep.
And when you're slow to develop that, it makes it almost impossible to do anything.
You know, I'm a big believer in all sports of rhythm and tempo. And Greencastle, that was no one's fault. The young man got hurt. We hope he's okay. But it slowed down their rhythm that they were in. It's very, very important to get in a rhythm. And as you saw, that play had wasn't very fluid.
Gleichman Zimmerman to the right side of the field as they're going to give the ball to Hines. Hines just barrels his way up to the 15-yard line, and that's going to be, that's the first down. Well, our camera operator, Keith Cole, says the first down, but no one else has verified that at this point in time.
But they put the marker right on
the
first
down. They're going to measurement. This might be the first measurement we've seen this year.
Well, like you said, our cameraman is dead set that it's a first down.
And he's very seldom wrong. I had to think which one I wanted to use there.
We'll see what this call actually is.
Yeah, if he's right on this one, we'll give him credit. So the crew brings it out, stretches it out. It's going to be short. So very seldom is he wrong. Very seldom is he right. So it's 4th and short. And so obviously this now Rick, this is field goal position. The ball sitting at the 15-yard line would be 32-yard field goal attempt, which he's already kicked, so it would be one. But I think the Blue Devils want to put.
Absolutely. Yep. James Hines, a bull. I'm not getting tricky here. I'm just going to turn around and give it to him and get this.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Hines at 5'9", 198-pound senior. Myers under center.
We don't have anyone split out of there. This is either going to Hines or Spencer's going to keep it.
It's Spencer keeping it. He goes right side.
He's got it.
And he's got more than he needs on that one. That is definitely a first down for the Blue Devils. Their third of this drive.
And that at this level in particular, that's the right call. I think your defense is finding their legs. At the worst case scenario, you're going to make West Perry drive 85 yards down the field, and Greencastle's got to get control of this game.
So they'll set the ball at the 14-yard line after that first down. 1st and 10. And, of course, the 4-yard line would be the first down opportunity for the Blue Devils. They'll come out. They work from the left hash mark. This half moving right to left from the primary to the high school. And it is to Burton. Burton bounces off one, but he is brought down hard by big number 77, Marshall Putt, 6'4", 300-pound junior for West Perry.
Nice play by Putt. Number 77 got in there, and Burton didn't have a chance.
6:33 up on the board, so we've gone a half with no score. This time in the first quarter, there was 3 scores on the board. Myers under center.
Jeffries all alone up there in the wide side of the field.
And they're going to go that way. They fire it into Hines coming out of the backfield. No one there to get him, and he goes in for the touchdown. The only hope was thwarted by a great block by Kyrene Zimmerman, and the Blue Devils have scored on another touchdown pass.
Well-designed play, well executed. You knew something was going to the wide side of the field there, as they had single coverage. They ran the receiver deep into the corner and then slipped the back out, and Spencer did a nice job picking his poison. And Matt Crispin's done a real nice. There's another one. I was just going to say, a real subtle thing that number 7, Matt, as that extra point is good by Austin Smith. Matt Crispin, that's the second extra point that he's made a real nice hold on a kind of a tough snap.
Oh, it's critical. There is no doubt that is as critical as the kick itself. If the snap's not there, certainly you're not going to be able to get the kickoff. So the Blue Devils are certainly happy to get that one. They go up on this one 28-21. This broadcast is brought to you by the F&M Trust. When you need extra funds this fall, pay less rate and get more great with the F&M Trust home equity line of credit. It's the ideal way to make large purchases or consolidate monthly bills. For details on F&M Trust special introductory offer, visit a community office or fnmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender. Greg Hoover, Rick Lewis, thanks for joining us. Third quarter, Blue Devils up on top of this one, 28-21. That was a 7-play drive that went 45 yards. Extra points good. 6-12.
And Greencastle's done a good job keeping West Perry pinned down. We've had some problems on these kickoffs, and there we go. That's what they were looking for. That's the perfectly executed squib kick there.
There it was. The ball carrier went down, and Braden Black, just on special teams, made sure he wasn't going to go anywhere at all. So that was a 2-minute and 59-second drive for the Blue Devils. They haven't been long drives. They went 14 yards on the pass to Hine from Spencer Myers. As we mentioned, a 45-yard drive. And the Blue Devils up on this one, 6:06 to go at 28-21. Working from the 29-yard line.
Wilson split out again.
But they're going to go straight up the middle with their fullback, Sear. Doesn't get very far on that one. Spencer Myers coming into this contest here tonight had thrown for 3 touchdown passes. He's doubled that. He has 3 here tonight for 6. So a pretty impressive showing for him.
I think Spencer Myers has had an outstanding senior year. He's completing, like we said, 64% of his passes. He now has 6 touchdown passes on, and more. He's just in total control of the offense.
Fullback again on the call. Sears goes straight to the right side. Picked up 1 the first time, picked up about 3 this time to about, they're going to be about 5 yards shy of it.
I'm sure the West Perry coach knows his personnel a heck of a lot more than I do, but I think 24 Wilson's going to touch the ball soon.
This time, well, or is it setting up the next play because they're keying on Wilson. They're going to bring May to this side of the field. They're going to send Quaker to the far side of the field. And Cilantro goes up under center. And again, Sears. No, great fake. Pitch back to Wilson. And Wilson coming around the left side. Fake me out.
Yep.
So I have to give them credit. They get the first down.
And again, it looked like their line moved a little bit early. That's about the 3rd or 4th time to us up here. It looked that way, but obviously they're not.
Now they're not letting us make the call, disappointing as it may be.
Well, and they proved why, because we got one guy putting out first downs that aren't there, and we got other things going on that aren't happening. But again, Hunter Wilson continues to just be very impressive, getting the tough yards, and they're splitting him out again. So I have to think eventually they're going to be looking for him on the pass.
Fumble, and I think that bounced off, and he recovers quarterback on Cilantro. I think what happened is it hit somebody as he came out of from under center there. So that brings up a loss on the play. The Blue Devils have a few of those here in this one. Got to give credit to Robert Bowden, the head coach at West Perry, coming in with his 0-2 team and playing tough with the Greencastle-Antrim Blue Devils. Line on this one was a big defeat for them.
Yep. No, they're prepared. You can tell they're well coached. It's just a matter of having the players to execute what needs to be done, and their kids are playing very hard.
Here's a timing pattern. May overthrows. Measle brings him down after he touched the ball. Incomplete pass. First pass of the half for them, so incomplete. Brings up a 3rd down situation and a 3rd and long, and as you always say, limits the playbook a little bit.
Yep, there's not a whole lot you can do. You don't have that play that says, do this on 3rd and 13 or 14. So I'd still like to see Greencastle. They don't really blitz very often. I would personally like maybe to see them try to put a little more pressure on the quarterback. Try to force that turnover we've been talking about.
Everybody up close, everybody in tight, even the trip receivers to the right side, but it's a passing formation. Going to throw it up here. May, and a great defensive effort from Derek Measle.
Very good defensive
Great
play.
defensive effort, yep.
Timed it just right, kept his left arm off, and then swatted the ball down with his right arm. Another stop. The defense looks like they've made the adjustments they've needed to make, and now Greencastle has a huge opportunity to put their put their hands around West Perry's throat here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It has been West Perry has had to punt away now both sets. And there's the snap. Oh, it was close.
Seth Martin just
Yep.
missed that.
Takes the Greencastle bounce.
Get away from it.
Yeah, get away from it. At the 33, back to the 35, and that's where the Blue Devils will have possession again. 3:37 remaining in the third quarter, and the Blue Devils now with the football again. Deep in their own territory this time.
It's going to be interesting here. Greencastle's run the ball well, but as you said, Spencer Myers with 3 touchdown passes. You almost wonder if they're going for the juggler here. You got Derek Measle split out wide on the right side of the field. Gleichman down here who catches the ball well too. See what they do, and they're going for it.
Yep, passing out of the backfield. They get the ball to Burton. Nice tackle by May as Burton makes the catch at the 40, gets upfield to about the 43.
And that's exactly what they sent both receivers deep, hoped to slip Burton in behind them, and that was a heck of a play by the Mustang linebacker there.
So second down and 3.
It's definitely not your father's Greencastle play calling anymore. They've really opened up the playbook, and they're utilizing their weapons.
We used to say 3 yards in a cloud of dust as they get the ball to the fullback. Hines coming out. And
wow.
Barreled over the safety, or he was gone. He was gone. Over the, obviously the first down as he goes inside West Perry territory to the 38.
And the offensive line, we named them before for Greencastle, and those young men just continue to do a good job. Lee Plaster, number 56, Casey Bard, 65. Corey Jarrett is hurt. Dante Tyler steps in for him, 63. Sean Walk and Randy Harden, the center, anchors the line. And those young men continue to blow holes open for the running game.
And Bray Peck, of course, your tight end. Here comes quarterback Spencer Myers, jumps up in the air, trying to make a little bit out of nothing. He didn't have anything to go to. And also, he's rolling to the left, looking to throw to the right. It's a tough play to make. But picks up 5 yards on that one, maybe even 6.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you take runs for 6 yards. James Hines again, a 5'8", 190-pound fullback, and he just, he's the kind of kid you rally behind. He just plays so hard, and the Blue Devils can sense it. The sidelines have a little more energy. The fans can feel it. This is a big drive right here, Greg.
And they get it to Hines again. Hines straight up the middle. He wasted no time getting down to the 25-yard line, and the Blue Devil first down.
And you can almost feel Coach Ninnis looking up here going, I like my old playbook. I got nothing wrong with running James Hines right up the middle.
Yep. I don't have the cloud of dust anymore because of the turf field.
That's exactly right.
But let's keep it there. You have still running out of the wing tee. They haven't done the jet sweep yet tonight. Jet sweep has been a staple in that offensive set for the Blue Devils. They're not going to run it here because there's no one in motion to run it. 3-step drop back. Oh, intercepted inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. And that is the interception going to be credited to Austin Wonders.
And that was just a poor pass by Spencer. He'll be the first to tell you. And really what was unfortunate, he was locked in on Bray Peck. Derek Measle also ran a curl, and he was wide open.
So there is the second turnover of the contest, both on the Blue Devils side. And again, we talked about turnovers and stopping Wilson early on. They didn't stop Wilson. Now they are. And the turnovers bite them in the
right there.
Right where it hurts.
Exactly.
So the offensive team comes out for West Perry. 2-step drop, quick pass out here. I thought it was going to be intercepted, but it wasn't. And the completion goes up. That was Liam Okel with the tackle. They start from the 19.
Jake Quaker, number 81's played a nice quiet game for West Perry. That's got to be his 3rd or 4th catch of the game.
So at 2nd and 5, and my inflection in my voice was I was anticipating a turnover or an interception. Not so. 2 receivers to the near side of the field, 1 to the far side, I in the backfield. Give it to the fullback. Sears has some running room. Fumble, and Blue Devils, I think, have recovered it. 3 guys went after it, and I'm hoping they came up. Yes, they do. They get the ball at the 34-yard line.
Well, that's a turnover we've been asking for quite a while, and that was a tennis unforced error there. I don't think he got hit. I think he just lost the ball.
Yeah. Didn't see who gathered it in. But the Blue Devils have the ball at the 34.
I think
his
Matt
territory.
Chrisman grabbed it.
Okay. So the Blue Devils now get it back on an exchange of turnovers. A little farther upfield than they were a second ago. Here goes the misdirection the other way, and it will be Zimmerman, who looked like he was going to be stopped back at the 37-yard line, but he makes it down inside to the 27-yard line for a first down.
You know, Zimmerman's only 5'7", and it almost seems like on that crisscross play, he gets lost in there. And that can happen. It really can.
Who has the football?
Yeah.
Who has
First
the
of all,
football?
you got three different guys between the quarterback and the tailback and the wingback touching it, and then the littlest guy comes out with it. And again, the line did a nice job there opening up the hole.
Luke Robinson to the right side. They're going to give it to Burton, who tries to come left side. Bounces off one, jukes another, comes to the outside, has some running room, gets a block, and then chased out of bounds down around the 10-yard line. And it was Zimmerman who gave him the block down there. The pylon has been knocked into the field. I hope the officials see that to get it out of the way.
Demetrius Burton made that happen. That was just an instinctual run where he just bounced off his own blocker at one point and turned it upfield. Nice run. And now we got Jeffries again on the wide side. The last time they ran him off and ran James Hines right behind him.
Who jumped that time?
Penalty flag on the play.
Oh, is there a timeout?
We got coaches on the field.
It was a timeout, not a penalty.
Correction, timeout, West Perry.
Something West Perry didn't like. Obviously, when Coach Bowden looked at that defensive set, he said, I need a timeout for something.
I'm not sure, Greg. I'm not sure they had enough guys on the field. I think was the biggest thing, because we got all kind of guys shuffling in and out for West Perry. And with only 14 seconds left till the quarter, they, in a tight ball game, they did not want to burn a defensive timeout there.
No, I'm sure they didn't. But they had to, so they get that situated under control. I'm going to sneeze again, I think, here. Just thought I'd warn you.
Most broadcasts have a 2-minute warning. We have a Greg Hoover sneeze alert.
Just letting you know. Also gives us the opportunity to tell you that this broadcast brought to you by the F&M Trust. Pay less rate, get more great this fall with a special offer on a home equity line of credit. Learn more at F&M Trust online.com.
Well, a great atmosphere at Cayley Field, as it always is, Greg, and let's see if the home team can give them something to cheer about right here.
Crisscross pass there intended for Jeffries or Gleichman.
No, Jeffries. A little behind him there. Good coverage.
Was. And Spencer knew it right away. He knew it wasn't the best pass, and it was good coverage. So the Blue Devils will come up with a second down and goal to go. I guess it is, yes, from the 10-yard line.
Yep, sticks are relaxing.
Yep. So two receiver, Gleichman left and Zimmerman right. And play action. Myers has to do something creative. Does. Nice throw. Did he catch that? No, he did not catch that.
Great effort by Christian Gleichman. Tough pass. Spencer Myers did everything he could, and unfortunately just fell incomplete. This would be a nice time for your jet sweep maybe right now, Greg.
Yeah, because they haven't run it.
Yep.
You know what was neat about that again? Spencer eluded the defender, but stayed in the pocket, made a nice hard throw, had to do what he did, and Gleichman almost came down with it on the second effort. Last play of quarter number 3 as we go to the final 12 minutes here. Measles to the right, and Jeffries to the left. 3-step, 4-step drop. Spencer has some time, rolls out of the pocket to the right. Throws the ball into the end zone, and it is incomplete.
Got away with one there. That was just heaved up. And in Bray Peck's direction, I think he was hoping to get a little more air on it to let Big Bray take a swing at it, but unfortunately weren't able to do it.
Third quarter comes to an end. 28-21. Blue Devils on top of this one as we head to the final stanza on the F&M Trust Sports Network on Mid-Penn. Broadcasting.com.
It's common to wonder how things could have turned out differently, if only. No regrets. If only you had Erie Insurance. With Erie, instead of regrets, you can focus on putting your mishap behind you. With an Erie Rate Lock auto policy, your rate won't take a hit, no matter what. It stays put until you change a car, driver, or address. People who treat you fairly, legendary service, great rates. That's what it means to have seriously good insurance for your auto, home, or business. Erie Insurance. See for yourself why Erie received the J.D. Power Award for highest in customer satisfaction with the auto insurance purchase experience 3 years in a row.
Your Erie agent in Greencastle and Waynesboro is Antrim Insurance Agency. Get a quote at AntrimInspa.com.
Erie rate lock is not available in all states. Limited to 3 years in Virginia. Other conditions and limitations at ErieInsurance.com. For J.D. Power Award information, go to JDPower.com.
Erie Insurance.
This is Greencastle-Antrim Blue Devils football on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
I don't know. I hope you saw that because we were unable to get out of that commercial with time. A fake punt. Crispin, who was a
field goal. Yep.
Fake field goal. And Measles is open on the right side. Crispin on the throw, who was a backup quarterback last year, completes the pass, and the Blue Devils sneak one in on West Perry. And now, more traditional, though, I'm sure they'll go for the extra point. Snap is down, kick is up, it is good. And the Blue Devils now have pushed that out to a two-score lead. They lead this one 35-21.
Wow, what a great call by the coaching staff. They must have saw something there. And great gutsy call, and puts them up by 2 scores. And that's got to be deflating for West Perry. 35-21. And Greg, very, very impressed with the adjustments Greencastle made at halftime. Their defense looks much different since they've kind of brought their defensive backs up, really have sold out on the run, and offensively they just continue to impress. You know, I would say, you know, you would be like, they played okay today. They got 35 points, and we're just starting the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's right. You know, you say.
I mean, that's frightening where they could get to, and they really cleaned some of this stuff up.
It was 28-21 at the quarter. That was the first play of the quarter, by the way. Measles picks up his 3rd touchdown via the air. 2 from Spencer Myers, 1 from Matt Crispin. And now we will kick away to start this away. Blue Devils moving left to right at the switch of the corners of the quarters. And line drive shot down, picked up off the helmet. Free ball right now, still rolling around. Everybody goes down on it, and it will be a West Perry. Blue Devils say they have it, so we'll have to wait and see what happens.
We do.
Yeah,
we do. And I tell you what, this place has just gotten electric, Greg. And let's have a little play fake here, throw the bomb, and that could take care of business.
Yeah, I think it could. I really do think it could. And they do need to put the coffin in the nails here. 11:45, just starting the fourth quarter, by the way. Blue Devils up 35-21. So they get the ball now at the 26-yard line and deep in their own territory after the second turnover on the second fumble from West Perry. Hines with it. And this time still picks up some positive yardage, about 2 on the play inside the 25 to the 24.
And Austin Smith, we talked about again, just adjustments, and this is what I really like to see our kids doing. Struggled with those squib kicks early, was kicking them way too short. Kick drove that one, and it's really created some problems for West Perry the last couple of kickoffs.
Gleichman far out to the far side, and it is Hines and Burton in the backfield. Zimmerman in a slot to the right, or a wing back to the right. They are going to give it to Burton. Burton trying to run his way through, goes up over the 20-yard line, down to the 18-yard line, 2 yards and a half, 3 yards shy of a first down. So the Blue Devils now with a little energy, moving the ball quite well. Nice breeze here tonight as I checked the American flag out way down at the west end, and it's cooled everything off, particularly for the team, for both teams here. Running out of that 2-set backfield. 2 receivers to the left. Going to give it to Burton. Burton will run to the left, has a little room. Nice try on the tackle, but he breaks it one, and he goes down inside the 10-yard line. And another first down for the Blue Devils.
Tell you what, that was a touchdown-saving tackle by Hunter Wilson. And, you know, it's offense, defense, special teams. Hunter Wilson's just really, you know, better than advertised, and can't say enough about that young man in the game he's played.
The Blue Devils like nothing more than to put 7 more on the board, make this 42 points and a double score, 42-21. But let's see what they can do. Same backfield as before.
We're really playing tight coverage down here on Jeffries.
This is Burton. Burton trying to get to the outside. Cuts back in. Almost inside. Falling about a yard shy of a touchdown. Going to pick up not a first down because they are in first and goal. So Blue Devils averaging 40 points a ball game. Looks like they're going to do that here in this one. If they can hold on to the ball and not have a penalty, they should be good. Looks like a running play to me. It is. Burton gets the call. He goes in for the touchdown, and the Blue Devils have added 6 up on that scoreboard.
Great. Taking advantage of the turnovers, and that's really the only thing I think holding them back is creating turnovers defensively. You don't necessarily have to be a shutdown great defensive team when you have this kind of offense, but what you do have to do is give that offense as many opportunities as you can, and they're doing that tonight. And what a tale of 2 halves, Greg.
Oh, it certainly has been. There's no doubt about it. Extra point up and good, as it has been all game for Austin Smith. And the Blue Devils now have tracked up 42 on the boards. They lead this one 42-21. 9:18 to go in the fourth quarter, right here on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Chalk Talk. We talk high school football every Thursday night at 7:30 on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Wasn't a long drive at all for the Blue Devils. They started at their own 34, so it was a 6-play, 34-yard drive. Measle with Derek with his 3rd reception touchdown of the night. No, sorry, that was the one before that one. This was a 26-yard drive. That was 6 plays, and then it was the Burton 4-yard run. Kickoff, the squib, taken again at the 27-yard line, and he will be set down at about the they're going to give him up to the 36-yard line. Blue Devils trot the defense on. They need to make a stop here and sew this one up.
Seth Martin, number 53, a 6'2", 200-pound junior, made the nice tackle there, and he's played a lot. He's been in for Bray Peck on defense, and the less guys that have to go 2 ways, especially up front on these hot nights, it's a big difference, and you're seeing that. And what a tale of 2 halves, Greg. I'm sure Coach Dennis calmly asked the young men to maybe step up their efforts if they wouldn't mind a little bit. And I tell you what, they're playing some ball right now.
They have responded from the shotgun. Was that knocked down by Parker?
I don't know if Parker knocked it down or just by jumping up there forced
the
high pass.
Yeah, it looked like a nice play on his part defensively. 2nd and 10. As they now, you're 21 down, you're primarily a running team. You got to start throwing the ball a little bit more. They've had some success throwing the ball, but this is not certainly what they want to do.
No, I don't think they want to just go back there and throw it all over the place. They need, we talked plenty about number 24, Hunter Wilson. They need him as involved as possible. Now they're splitting him out again, but I don't think that's their MO, just going back and throwing it around the place.
4 from 10 throwing. They're going to throw this one into the backfield. And again, it's going to be no gain on the play as they complete the pass. I almost won't call that a pass. It was a lateral because he would have missed that. It's a free ball.
You're right. That's a very dangerous play. And, Greencastle, you can just feel the sidelines, the stands. And here's where it's tough when you're West Perry. You're 0-2. It's kind of like in a boxing match. You threw your best shots.
Yeah.
And you were in it, and then Greencastle took it, responded, and very impressive second half for the Blue Devils. I think their most complete half so far.
So far, a lot of time to go. Handoff goes to Wilson as he tries to come out of the backfield on sort of like a jet sweep as the Blue Devils will run it, but he goes nowhere, and it is another 3 and out and another impressive series defensively from the Blue Devils. And Wilson is a little slow getting up. Looks more like the traditional cramp.
Yep, I think so. He's pulling the toes back. Tyler Graham's played a solid game at defensive end. He made the tackle there. And, Greencastle with 8 minutes left in the game, up by 21 points. This is when you just would love, just in a textbook victory, Greg, just one of those long drives where you're eating up the clock, and could be a nice opportunity if they score here again to get some kids in. And where that really matters is later on in the season. Injuries, in any sport, but particularly football, injuries pop up. And the more kids who get repetitions in game time situations are only going to make you better. Greencastle has the potential to be playing a little while this year.
They do. You talk a lot about next man up, but that next man up has to be ready to go. And it's not only ready mentally and physically, but get some experience on there. But right now, it is a 3-score. I mean, here it was 21-21 at the halftime. We're wondering what is happening. And then, as you said, Blue Devils can't play any better than they have here in this third quarter and the beginning of the fourth quarter. And I think you're right. You got to give the coaching staff a lot of credit for the adjustments made.
A lot of good adjustments, and it all clicked. Those trick plays are great, and you practice them, and you feel good about them. It takes the courage to call them, and then the kids executed them. And so when they don't work, everyone's like, "Oh, why'd you do that?" But
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Everything's clicking: the decisions and the performance.
Fourth down, shotgun, going for it, throwing it way downfield for May, and overthrows at about 5 yards. May had a step on his defenders.
Yeah, I think we got a little bit fortunate there. Chrisman was a deep guy, fell down actually, and created Measle was back. He was double covered, so we still had somebody, but the deep safety fell down, and there was an opportunity. But they had to go for it. Greencastle on the West Perry 34-yard line. And let's see if we can salt this away and go to 3-0, Greg.
Yeah, it's going to be 8 minutes to go in the quarter and a short drive. We wanted a longer drive than this, but the potential is only 35 yards. They are going to give it to Hines. Hines breaks through everybody and runs straight up the middle, down over the 20 to the 15-yard line. I would imagine he's close to 100 yards tonight.
Yeah, he's run fantastic. There's a lot of kids more athletic than James Hines. There's a lot of kids bigger. There's a lot of kids faster. But that young man is the heart of this team. When he runs that hard and plays that hard, it just picks everybody else up.
Yeah, that was a great run for him as he continues to do that. So here they come again. Spencer's going to move his wide out to the other side, Luke Robinson. And handoff will go to Burton. Burton right side, running room. He's going to walk it in. No one gets him.
It's over.
Yeah.
They're West Perry. The Mustangs have nothing to be ashamed of. They played hard. They're well coached. They came in with a good game plan, and Greencastle has been very, very impressive in this second half, and Demetrius Burton just slammed the door shut right there.
Yes, he did. 6-yard run for him. That only took 37 seconds on the 34-yard play. The extra point is up, and it is good. Starting to look like a rout from our standpoint. 49-21, and the Blue Devils have opened up a lead in really an impressive situation for Greencastle. Over on the sideline, Rick, you can see West Perry is going to look at, and I would imagine it's Dom Cilantro, not Nate. And so Dom would be Nate's brother, wouldn't you think? So how many Cilantros can you have
up in Elliotsburg,
Elliotsburg? you can only have one family of them, okay?
Exactly.
So
Dom's a sophomore, 6'1", 160.
Wow, he's 5 inches bigger than
he got the height in the family. That's for sure. But overall, Nate played a good game. He did what he could. I think what we saw, Greg, is the potential of this team. I think this will be the half they measure themselves against moving forward. Can you get to playing 4 quarters like this? But they're an explosive team, and I don't think they're always going to look great every possession. But with their capabilities and with the weapons they have, and when they put that with the 1-2, I think maybe that came out a little bit in the second half. I think these kids want to do something special this year, Greg, and I think they kind of got, we can't let this slip by.
No, they came out certainly a different intensity, but again, a lot of things playing into that, the intensity along with the change in assignments and the changes they made, it certainly has done them good at this point in time.
Sometimes you have to play with a sense of urgency, and I think they did that here in the second half.
They knew that they couldn't let this go as it was.
Yep.
They're going to actually. They have
Nate's-
John Sear. Oh no! I'm
Nate's
sorry.
back in.
Yeah, he's still there. And they're going to throw it long and overthrown for Wilson. He was covered by Parker. It falls incomplete.
That was a nice pass, just a shade out of Wilson's reach.
And I think they're going to just, try to get back in the game this series. 7:09 up on the board. Clock stopped with the incomplete pass. Greencastle looking to take a road trip, only the second one of the year. They've been home these 2 back-to-back weeks, and they go to Big Spring. Big Spring, last we checked, was losing to Bowling Springs. So that would be bring them 2-1 at 2-1, and not as
They're still losing 21-16 as of right now.
Okay, still in the ball game. Little option play on the veer. That one didn't go anywhere.
That's Zach Martin again.
Yep. Another negative yardage on that one. So Blue Devils, another. I don't know how many it's been, and I wish I would have kept track knowing it was going to happen, but negative yardage or runs for losses, and they just have been playing very well defensively. As West Perry starts, they started on the 42, now they're back at the 39.
Yep. And I think we got another cramp here. Yep. Guys are cramping up a little bit, and if you're Coach Taninis, I think you got to start looking at maybe getting some subs in here sooner than later. They hate to have anyone go down at this point.
Wilson, large hole out to the left side, still on his feet, and ran out of bounds. And the last man there was Chrisman from the safety position. And Wilson continues to impress.
He's got a lot of speed. He's got good size. It's so hard to project if a kid's a Division whatever player in college, but that young man can definitely play on Saturday somewhere at some level, of football. And I think people also don't understand how hard it is to play at any level past this level. So, but he's a very nice running back, and he's been very impressive.
First down from the I formation. They'll go working out of the left hash mark. They're going to give it to Wilson again. Wilson wanted to go outside, didn't see anything there, cuts up the middle and goes to the 40-yard line, brought down there by the Blue Devils interior line. Anderson gets the credit for the defensive tackle.
Yep, continues to be a real strong player at nose guard, and we're down to under 6 minutes.
Halfway through the fourth quarter, 49-21. It was tied at the half at 21 apiece. Blue Devils lead this one. Quick pass on a split out. Wow, well overthrown on May. It would have. I'm not sure who could have caught that one.
That was a fastball that went high and outside there.
Yep. 5 passes so far here in the second half. No completions after a 4-for-8 first half from Nate Cilantro.
You got to give West Perry credit, though. They're not quitting. They're playing hard, and that's a sign that they're bought into what their coach is selling.
Blue Devils' highest point total of the year was last week with 51, and this is pretty doggone close to it with 49. And I really look forward. Greencastle bring out the second team offense. If they get the ball back, he jumped. The left end, the tight end, or the left tackle jumped, so a 5-yard penalty. I almost hate to say this. But you know what else the Blue Devils have not done in half number 2?
No penalties.
No penalties.
I didn't until you just said that, but I'm not sure for special teams with the fake field goal, offense, defense. I'm not sure they can play a much better half of football. I mean, it's going to be hard to explain to people that this was 21-21, and it's been 28-0 in the second half here.
Yep. There's that little quick and out again.
And that's a smart play by Derek Measle. And those are little things. He could have tackled the receiver. He could have hit him and, maybe drew a penalty like we talked about that you don't need. He knew when to pull back. And, they're getting football smarter at least in this half. And hopefully that can carry over into the big spring game.
Well, I hope so. To timeout, West Perry will take that timeout. It will be their second of the half. They've used They've used 5 out of their 6. The Blue Devils have yet to call one. 4th down situation facing them. They have a 4th and 13 to go. This broadcast brought to you by F&M Trust. When you need extra funds this fall, pay less rate and get more great with the F&M Trust Home Equity line of credit. It's the ideal way to make large purchases or consolidated monthly bills. For details on F&M Trust special and introductory offer, visit a community office or fnmtrustonline.com, equal housing lender. Craig and Rick, thanks for joining us. Game number 3 will be at Big Spring next week, 7 o'clock start time. We'll hope to be on the air as we were to this time at 20 minutes till the hour. And
well, tonight was a much smoother operation for the people who listened last week. We had Greg Hoover choking. We had Keith Cole sweating. We had things going on last week that people don't need to see behind the scenes, but tonight was much smoother.
It has been. Trips to the right, one setback.
I just jinxed us.
Yeah, you did. And a throw downfield, and May can't get to it. Derek Measles playing a great job defensively, and so the Blue Devils will get the football back at the 30 or the 44-yard line.
And that was, again, Tyler Graham, those are little things as a coach you look for. Tyler Graham broke through, put pressure on the quarterback, had a clean shot, but the young man let go of the ball. That would have been a penalty, and he pulled back. And those are things that stop West Perry's drive. It was 4th down. But if we have a penalty there, it prolongs their drive. And those are smart little plays that will go a long way to winning football games. And now Cade McDowell, probably the next quarterback in the rotation. A sophomore's in, and Joey Burns, a senior, gets the ball. And we've got some kids in, and that's good. That's real good stuff.
Burns with a 1-yard pickup scored a touchdown last game on the ground as the Blue Devils against Littlestown was just trying to, give the second string an opportunity, and Littlestown could not stop them. Yep. And same thing here. You're not gonna, they're gonna. You might see Cade try a pass or two because he needs to try a pass or two.
And there's nothing wrong with that. If I'm an opposing coach and you have your second team in, those kids deserve to play. They really do. And number 28 there is
Caleb Schaefer.
Caleb Schaefer getting a run, and these are the kids who are juniors and sophomores that are going to have to step up next year. And you can practice all you want, but until you get the reps and game time, situations, you can't get used to it as Bray Peck comes out. And he looks a little hobbled, and I wonder if that's why he was only playing one way today.
Might have been.
He's walking pretty gingerly.
That he is.
And he didn't have his normal explosiveness tonight.
McDowell up under center and will fake, roll to the right, look at the pass. Sees a lane there, takes it, goes up to the middle, holds on to the football, picks up 2 yards on that carry over the 50 to the 48-yard line. Clock at 4:16 and running down.
Yep, and they'll probably go for it here, keep it on the ground, keep the clock moving. Cade McDowell's a 5'10" sophomore, good athlete, baseball, basketball player as well. Great kid.
Dad was a football star here at Greencastle.
Yep, a lot of potential, throws the ball. His brother, Max, is the quarterback of the freshman team right now. Good family genes, and he's getting counted on for the future.
Handoff this time will go once again to Caleb Schaefer, and Schaefer picks up that first down, crashing over the 45 down to about the 42-yard line. 3:41 to go. Blue Devils continue to run the football as they lead by 28 points here. It's close to a mercy rule game, but who would have thought that?
Just unbelievable, really. I mean, just.
Timeout.
Third and final timeout for West Perry. Surprised by that a little bit.
So is our cameraman. His hands are up in the air.
He wants to go home. Let's be perfectly honest.
He's done.
Keith is hungry. It's no 28-point comeback, he says, in 3 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the game, and he's absolutely right. And I have to agree with Keith. I am hungry too. So why the timeout? Well, I guess they want to say to him, hey, this is the second string. Let's stop this group here somehow, some way. Blue Devils with a trip to Big Spring next week. That should be a fun game.
Greg, I'd also just like to point out, as all these young men just came off the field again, they don't get enough recognition. The center, Randy Harn, Sean Walk at guard, Dante Tyler at guard, Casey Bard and Lee Plaster, your tackles, again, did a great job in the second half.
Handoff will go to, is that Caleb
Schaefer again,
Schaefer again, yes it is. He's close to the first down, 9 yards up. Big Spring next week, and then East Pennsboro, which will be the big game of the immediate future. You know, you always have a couple big games. Yeah.
Let's hope it's not deja vu all over again. Last year, 4-0 going up to East Penn. It was a game of the week, a lot of excitement for it, and that's when unfortunately the injury bug and the turnover bug kind of all started kicking in.
Yes.
Now everybody's a year older, a year wiser. Hopefully, we can keep it going, because I'll tell you what, they can play with anybody, Greg, if they play like this.
That's for sure. Well, East Pennsboro will travel to Greencastle this year. We'll have him right here. That's Joey Burns right again. He'll pick up the first down. This second string's just keeping it on the ground and running the football. And,
these are great team wins, Greg, because what it does, it keeps kids interested in practice. And, these are the kids that you need to make your first team better. They get some playing time. They're having success. They look crisp, and that's important too.
They do, yes.
You hate to have your second team go out there and not know what they're doing. Everything has looked crisp in the second half for Greencastle.
Going to give the ball to Schaefer. Schaefer just barrels his way in that fullback position up to about the 22-yard line. He's been running hard and picking up some yardage. A 2nd and 6 situation. We're at the 2:05 mark here as the clock will go under 2 minutes here in this contest. 49-21 it has been. And when I say all Blue Devils in the second half, there is no doubt it's been all Blue Devils in the second half.
No, it's this is about as good as it can get. If you're the Greencastle, if you're West Perry, you drop to 0-3. You get into the Capital Division, and it's not going to get a whole lot easier for them.
First man through, Schaefer dragged down from behind, but he's going to get up to the 20-yard line. Third down situation for the Blue Devils. They're going to say the 21, to be honest.
But with West Perry and a kid as good as Hunter Wilson, I think they're going to be in a lot of games. He's got the capability. I mean, he's a home run hitter, that's for sure.
Unfortunately, you know who they have next week?
I do not.
They are at home with Camp Hill.
And Camp Hill must, they got their groove on tonight. Well,
Camp Hill's had their groove on for a couple years, obviously. Quarterback keeper, and still on his feet. McDowell's going to take it in for the touchdown. No one could stop him.
Good run by Cade McDowell. That's great to see. And that's got to be exciting. Your first varsity touchdown, and
21
I think
yards
the cheerleaders
out,
are multiplying out here.
Yeah, there's a ton of them out there.
And that's what makes Greencastle's football and athletics in general in the school, special, Greg. You have the young kids out here, and it's all part of it, and that's great stuff.
Looking to complete 8 for 8 tonight. The snap is down. Smith's kick is up, and it is good. 8 for 8 came in, 8 for 9. So that makes him 8 for 8, 9, 16 for 17 is what I wanted to say. And the Blue Devils now biggest point total of the season at 56 points, leading this one 56-21.
He's going to have to ice his leg down between all these extra points and kickoffs. I mean, but that's important too. Again, what I'm impressed with, the second team looked very crisp. They ran the plays well, they blocked well, and that's really important stuff. And 56, I mean, this has been an absolute explosion.
35 points alone here in the second half, and really, now here's what I'd do this time. I don't think they will because he's not lining. I'd let Smith see how far he can kick it.
Yeah, do something different. Absolutely.
It is the mercy rule in effect. It's a 35-point lead. And he'll Squibb kick it up. 88's had a lot of action with that football. He's going to go against traffic to the other side. Finally brought down for Pukalowski. And the offense rolls out. They'll get 1 or 2 plays at best here to finish this one out, and the Blue Devils will pick up yet another win. Impressive, you can say that now. We weren't going to be overly impressed at halftime, but it's certainly been amazing. They came out to try to call a timeout, and they already have their 3 timeouts used. I think the coach just wanted to get some other players in there.
If they would have called a timeout, our cameraman may have lost his mind.
Yes. Yeah.
And that'll be it after this play,
Yeah,
Greg.
oh, the keeper, and this is the brother of the starting quarterback once again. Nice little run for him, and he's finally brought down over the 40. That is Dom Salintro, and that is the ball game. This one comes to an end, and the Blue Devils pick up a win here tonight with an impressive second half of football, scoring 35 straight points to win this one 56-21. Back with the Antrim Insurance post-game show on the F&M Trust Sports Network on midpennbroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. With the home equity line of credit from F&M Trust, you can pay less rate and add more great to your life. Get extra funds to pay off high-interest bills, tackle home remodeling projects, or make other big purchases. Apply today, and you'll rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory rate. For details, connect with any local branch or visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency, has been serving the tri-state area for 35 years. We specialize in screen printing and embroidered clothing. Del Martin Incorporated supplies a full range of brand-name uniforms for athletic, work, and medical applications, and a full line of advertising essentials. We have an in-house artist ready to put your ideas to work for you. T-shirts for schools, clubs, churches, and events. Del Martin Incorporated, 21 Sarah Susan Lane, Greencastle. Phone 717-597-5751 or online at delprint.com.
Have heating or air conditioning needs? Look no further than Lecron's Comfort Solutions. We service all brands: heat pumps, humidifiers, system replacements, gas, oil, electric heat, and ductless systems. Lecron's Comfort Solutions is your authorized Terrain dealer. Call Corey at 717-597-3768 for a free estimate. We are licensed and insured. Lecron's Comfort Solutions. Local company, local name. Serving Greencastle and all of Franklin County with professional service and installation.
There's nothing like being at the game. The excitement, the fun, the food, and all the waste. Whether it's popcorn boxes, hot dog wrappers, or this soda cup. Big games generate tons of waste. That's why Waste Management is helping stadiums and businesses reduce waste altogether through recycling and organic composting. To learn more, talk to your local Waste Management representative or visit thinkgreen.com.
Chalk Talk. We talk high school football every Thursday night at 7:30 on midpennbroadcasting.com.
Well, if you were with us at halftime and had to go do something more important than listen to us, and I can't imagine what that would have been, it was 21-21. And now, as we read the final here, it is 56-21. The Blue Devils have picked up the win. And now, as you see, our players coming over, our cheerleaders are there, our student section coming out, and the band has come down to play the alma mater, and the Blue Devils will celebrate the win. Our post-game show brought to you by Antrim Insurance, your local Erie insurance agent serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding areas. Antrim Insurance, 169 South Antrim Way, Greencastle, and 1685 East Main Street in Waynesboro. Rick, the trouble with games like this is you get to the post-game show, there's so many statistics you cannot go over them. I can't go over the drives. There was 8, 3, 11 touchdowns. It's just, you said it and early on, adjustments being made certainly turned the tide a little bit, and then the Blue Devils just played maybe their best half of football.
Well, I think they did, and if they play like that, they're going to be very difficult to beat. No penalties. I believe one penalty. No penalty. West Perry did not have a first down. I think they might have one in the second half. Just a fantastic second half, and it just doesn't get much better than that. And that's how that group's going to be held accountable to play at that level.
I think the only thing that was the interception in the end zone, and we got the ball right back on a fumble, that would be the only drawback from that second half. Everything besides that was almost near perfect. When we come back, we're going to look at what some scores we have, and of course as we've been mandated to do, Rick and I will talk about this weekend. And we'll be right back on the Antrim Insurance postgame show on F&M Trust Sports Network on midpenbroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Had an auto accident? It's common to wonder how things could have turned out differently, if only.
No regrets.
If only you had Erie Insurance. With Erie, instead of regrets, you can focus on putting your mishap behind you. With an Erie Rate Lock auto policy, your rate won't take a hit, no matter what. It stays put until you change a car, driver, or address. People who treat you fairly, legendary service, great rates. That's what it means to have seriously good insurance for your auto, home, or business. Erie Insurance. See for yourself why Erie received the J.D. Power Award for highest in customer satisfaction with the auto insurance purchase experience, 3 years in a row.
Your Erie agent in Greencastle and Waynesboro is Antrim Insurance Agency. Get a quote at AntrimInspa.com.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Limited to 3 years in Virginia. Other conditions and limitations at ErieInsurance.com. For J.D. Power Award information, go to JDPower.com.
Erie Insurance.
Streaming live with over 70 local sporting events a year. This is MidpenBroadcasting.com.
Fittingly, it is all right now.
Perfect.
Yes, it was. It was not all right at halftime, as this one was tied at 21-21. And the Blue Devils struggling a little bit in certain aspects of the game, but again, a great second half as they come out here and pull this one away. And actually, their biggest win of the season, point-wise, is they scored 56 points, 56-21 the final. Got some scores update us on?
I do have some of local interest. Northern York, the Polar Bears, who are on our schedule, are down 3 to Middletown. I'm not sure if these are finals, but they have to be late in the game. Boiling Springs increased their lead 31-16 over Big Springs, who we go visit next. East Pennsboro 14, Susquehanna 7. Camp Hill all over JB. James Buchanan loses 56 to nothing. Waynesboro destroys Gettysburg 33 to nothing. A big win for the Indians.
It is.
Bermudian Springs 16-6 over Shippensburg, playing the game that you and I kind of played, who beats who and how that works. You really have to be concerned about Chambersburg now because they've lost to Shippensburg, and Bermudian Springs is beating Shippensburg at Shippensburg 16-6.
Interesting. I talked to someone from Bermudian Springs. We'll mention his name today because he said we're not that good this year, so we might get blown out tonight. And here they turn around and win the ball game. And Shippensburg's been playing well too. So you know that's a shocker that Bermudian Springs is always a good football school. So it doesn't surprise me entirely, but I thought Shippensburg would put on a better show than that.
And I apologize. I read that was last week's Northern score. They're all over Mechanicsburg this week, 42-13.
Okay,
so I apologize. That was last week's score.
Well, here's the deal. You got Northern playing well. You got East Penn playing well. I thought Shippensburg and Big Spring, but they're going to pick up losses tonight. And I don't know if you're still watching this, but the police dog is out on the field and being let go a little bit to do some training, and we do allow them to use our facilities for training. He is very well trained, by the way. Speaks Czechoslovakian, I think, or Yugoslavian, one of those Eastern Bloc.
The dog does?
Yes, the dog does. Well, he doesn't speak it.
I was really impressed with the security we have here.
Ruh-roh.
Exactly.
But that's the commands that he understands. So final words on this one, Rick?
Fantastic victory. The second half was about as good as Greencastle can play. I think Spencer Myers continues to be a strong leader at quarterback. The defense made their adjustments, and it's one of those games I think Greencastle's coaching staff, special teams, offense, defense, all were big parts of it. And 3-0 at the end of the day, and they're still putting a lot of points on the board.
3-0, and you're worried at halftime, and you say, and you said this last week, they're 3-0. 2-0 last week, but they can play better. They're 3-0 this week. They can play better in the first half,
Yeah.
But, so there's some room for improvement, but they're playing well now. And next week will be a big game for them, a big test as they go on the road again. It's always that way when you have to go on the road. So we will see what we can see. Our post-game show brought to you by Antrim Insurance, your local area insurance agent, serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding areas. Antrim Insurance, 169 South Antrim Way in Greencastle, and 1685 East Main Street in Waynesboro. Tonight's game has been a production. Let me start this little music here. How's that start? There we go. Shouldn't try to do that. Tonight's game has been a production of MidPennBroadcasting.com. Tonight's camera operator has been Keith Cole. Our next broadcast is next Friday evening as Rick and I will join you at Big Spring. Game time there is 7 o'clock. We'll be on the air at 6:40. Chambersburg, it doesn't get any easier. They will entertain Central Dauphin, and you can pick up that game too right here on Mid-Penn Broadcasting and Game Time PA. This broadcast has been brought to you by F&M Trust. Pay less rate and get more great this fall with a special offer on a home equity line of credit. Learn more at fnmtrustonline.com, an equal housing lender. Antrim Insurance, your local area insurance agent. Dale Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency serving the tri-state area for 35 years. Waste Management, environmentally friendly technologies and advanced innovations. Lecron Comfort Solutions, serving all of Franklin County with professional service and installations. And Klein's Tour, New York City, Atlantic City, and more. KleinsTours.net. See them for more complete tour schedule. Again, our final score this evening, 56-21. Blue Devils with the win. For Rick Lewis and the entire... I was doing so well to that point in time. To Rick Lewis and the entire Mid-Penn Broadcasting team. This is Greg Hoover. Have a good evening, everyone.